shot today, though. We do hope that at least if they go out in style. But FaZe also are big contenders here. They have not always made it that far, but they've always done okay at LAN events, so you never know.
No matter what here for both of these teams, the road goes straight through Dark Zero to get to the quarterfinals. Dark Zero obviously having a lifeline after winning yesterday against Fnatic. They won in convincing fashion 7-3, 7-3 against Fnatic yesterday.
Could see a Fnatic Dark Zero rematch potentially.
Could be a rematch just like we have in Group B between Rogue and Secret. We might be having a rematch in Group A as well.
We'll see. Let's take a look at the roster of Fnatic. You should know them pretty well by now, as they haven't changed too much, but you've got Magnet, the beautiful man there, Rizraz, Lusty, Aces, and Virtue. Virtue should be a household name by now with some of his plays. A very, very strong player who can really show up for Steam. Probably one of the top players overall across all the regions, but fortunately it wasn't enough yesterday to get their team through into the winner's bracket. But now they have a second chance. They've had some more rest, had some time to think about what didn't work. Not sure if they'll pull it off today, but hopefully they're in good spirits. They don't look like they're crying yet, so that's a good start.
No, we were talking to some of the Fnatic guys last night and just saying they knew that they came up short. They knew that they didn't really come to play off rip, and it was an issue. So today, better preparation, more familiar opponent, I suppose, in FaZe.
I suppose.
So for FaZe and Fnatic in this game here, I mean, realistically, it's who's going to get back on their game quicker. Because yesterday was a poor showing from both of them in both of their matchups. FaZe against FaZe, I mean, yes, FaZe just took down Dark Zero, but I mean, at the same time, FaZe did not look like the normal FaZe. And this is their roster, same one as yesterday. Same one as always. Mav, Astra,
Same one as yesterday.
And Ion.
I like how you say that, like, same one as yesterday. Well, they didn't make any roster changes last night. So.
Nora had to make a roster change. You
Absolutely.
never know.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll give you that one.
Exactly. So for FaZe Clan here, the Latin American representatives, they've already lost one of their counterparts. Actually, did they lose two? Because MIBR just lost. Oh, no, but MIBR beat Nora last night. So
there you go.
Never mind. MIBR is still around. NIP has gone home. They are eliminated from the tournament. So FaZe Clan also on the brink of elimination here. It's do or die for both of these teams. One will go home. One will move on to face Dark Zero tomorrow. It's a very tough matchup, and it's a matchup of who can get back on track and stay on track the longest, because FaZe really started off slow yesterday, and they started to heat up in the last two maps against FaZe, where things kind of, I don't know, picked up for them as FaZe let off the gas pedal a little bit.
That didn't work for Dark Zero either.
Didn't work for Dark Zero either, but for Fnatic, they just never got any traction against Dark Zero. There was no start of a comeback. There was no start to gaining momentum for them. It was just complete shutdown by Fnatic. And
it's funny because we talk about how LAN can be very different than playing online, and I mean, if you're going to talk about a place that has problems playing online with things like ping and unreliable internet, Australia unfortunately is part of that, and that may be a factor that they play a lot online. They have somewhat unreliable internet in a lot of their country, in the region especially. They can't play cross-region very well. They do fine at those smaller LANs, but maybe that's the thing. They're just, despite all the LANs they've come to, they spend most of their time playing on unreliable online play.
Well, we're going to lose Border and Villain, the map veto FaZe. FaZe taking away Border. They're going to pick Bank as well. No shock there. Latin America favored map there.
It's a fun
Going back to Clubhouse on the side of Fnatic. We're going to have two more bans and find ourselves a decider. FaZe banning out Coastline. No shock there. Latin America despises Coast. Cafe out of the rotation, so we'll go to Consulate as a decider. I like these maps.
Yeah.
I liked FaZe's performance on Consulate yesterday, at least on the comeback against FaZe.
Yeah, I'd like to see this get to Consulate, because I think that would be a good decider between these two, but of course that depends on each of them winning a map.
I honestly, I've said it every game. I think this is going 3. And I've been wrong every game. Because
I told you that's what happens. You're not supposed to say anything, and then it's up to the gods at that point.
Well, we're going to start off on Bank. 5 bans for Fnatic, and they have an 0-2 record on it. 6 bans for FaZe on Bank, and I imagine most of those stats are coming from Brazil, just inside of Latin American Pro League.
May or may not include BR6, but probably doesn't.
No clue. I'd have to ask Spencer.
Yeah.
It's 2-0-1 record for FaZe, so right now the record heavily favoring FaZe, considering Fnatic are currently winless in terms of those stats that were provided for us. We also have a community vote for you.
Wow.
57-43. Very dead even split, and I imagine that's just based on how trash both the teams were yesterday.
I mean, that's surprising, because I would have thought it would have been bigger for FaZe, just because, I mean, they were up against FaZe. Like, what do you expect? You saw how powerful they were. I mean, but then again, that was against Dark Zero. We saw how good Dark Zero was also. So it's, I don't know. I guess coin toss at that point. So maybe I can see why it's kind of close, but I don't know. It depends on how well FaZe can also shake off the loss from yesterday. Same with Fnatic. They just have sometimes a tendency on Fnatic to kind of get a little bit of choke going. And I mean, sometimes I know that's kind of a pejorative word to use, but that's what it looks like, where they just kind of lose their ability to play well like they know how to. We've seen them they start making misplays, friendly fire. I don't know. It's just something about the pressure they have trouble managing sometimes. But they are all fantastic players, so it's not a skill thing. I think it's just a mentality thing. And I don't know if they've got a mental coach, but maybe they need one. Maybe that would help. So, though, as we
used to say the same thing about EG.
Well, I would say that again after today.
You might be right on that one. Today, all we have to focus on for the rest of the day, this is our last match already. It's been a quick day, a lot of 2-0s.
Yeah, it's been a lot faster than it was yesterday. I mean, a little less technical issues as well, but at the same time, yeah, the matches have been quicker than we expected. They've all been a lot of times close 2-0s, though, where it seems like maybe we'll go to a third map, and we just don't. Monty banned, all right. Good start here for Fnatic. Don't see that ton normally, but it does make some sense here. It's, Latin America, very good at shields in general. We did see a lot of attempted shield play from Mint last match, but Habana going down as well for Bank. Not unusual at all. That means Maverick going to be in play quite a bit.
Rounding out with another 2 bans, it'll be Mira, and then I imagine one of Maestro or Echo.
Yeah, could be either, because both of them are good bans, and this might be Maestro just because he could be very strong, especially on the bottom site, but it's up to preference at that point.
Echo.
So Maestro definitely going to see some play.
Absolutely. So Fnatic starting on the defense on Bank. I imagine we'll be starting downstairs first. That's usually the norm.
I would think so. I mean, there was like a brief season where we saw CEO be kind of the play.
Yeah.
Although we did see an open area yesterday as well. That was
true. And yeah, we're all. So we said 3 sites. Guess what? We're wrong. Imagine naming 75% of the possibilities and still being wrong.
I'll make predictions, but I'm not going to put money on them.
Exactly. No matter what, you're cursed.
Right?
So Teller's Archives will be the opener here for Fnatic. Magnet going to 6-pick off of the Ella to the Valkyrie. Mav 6-picking away from the IQ to the Bucks. So finally we see some 6-picks working in favor of the defense.
Yeah, I think there's 2 reasons to go for Tellers. One is either you feel like you're very strong on it. The other is if they've watched FaZe play it and think their attack is not good or know how to counter it very well. And I know Dizzle definitely, as I said, sounds like someone who does a lot of research, very much pays attention to the other regions, what they do. Because Latin America has 2 leagues going on, BR6 and Pro League, they get to see a lot of FaZe. This may be a case where they're just like, you know what, FaZe's Teller attack. Either we just got a good idea on how to counter it, or we just think it's weak.
So I know FaZe was in the BR6 finals against Liquid. Did they win or lose?
Unfortunately, Liquid lost due to it was down to match point, and I can't remember who it was, but they accidentally didn't pick an operator, and it picked automatically one of the band operators, I think Warden, and they lost because of that. So that's a really bad case for Liquid, but yeah, not great.
Well, unfortunate. Moving on, then.
Yeah, that was a very anticlimactic ending to BR6.
Moving on. Yeah, the BR6 finals were going on while we were working the Canadian Nationals one day, so we got to pop in every now and again, but also had to, you know, go to work, do our jobs, and it looks like cameraman wanted to post that drone up inside the
he's called cameraman. He likes to post up cameras.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, he's going to get it back up there. He tried to throw it and bounce it off and have it rest in the windowsill, but unfortunate for him, it fell down. So it takes him a minute to reposition. He also spots Rizraz on a drone inside a conference, and now Magnet as well, rotating all the way to CEO. This could be perfect picks here for cameraman, popping open the north rappel windows, and Magnet needs to get the hell out of Dodge as fast as possible. As everyone from FaZe starting to descend upon them from the rappels, but this is a Teller's Archives defense. There's a minute burnt, and no one's really in the building yet for FaZe.
FaZe feels really antsy. They're doing a lot of moving around and not a lot of moving into the building. Hitting windows, hitting doors, moving around, doing a lot of repelling. Astro at least going into the building, but the rest of them seeming like they're just kind of teasing things out right now. They want Fnatic to make the first move and try and take a pick on them. They're trying to just kind of stay on edge. But you've got Virtue here, knowing exactly what they're playing, I'm surprised that only did as much damage as it did to Mav. That should have done maybe a little bit more, but depends on where you hit him on the body. Plant going down?
Okay.
Hello?
So we missed something here. Yuna has made it into
Fnatic?
sight. The plant going down, and they stop it dead. A millisecond remaining. Aces will end that run for Yuna. Cameraman falls to the hands of Magnet. Rizraz tapping in as well to take down Mav. All of a sudden, we pop wide open here on round number 1 in the elimination match. Another one trying to flank out of open area, and Kitchen with a pulse of virtue, but he wins that out onto the square stairs. It could be a flawless round to the start here for Fnatic, and it will be. Magnet puts Astro 6 feet under. Flawless round for Fnatic, and they get off to a much better start today than they did yesterday against Dark Zero.
What an oddball round. You've got them starting on an off bomb site, and then there's plant going down, just unbeknownst to everyone, including us, to like they're just on the laptop in sight, and no one's doing anything. Down to the last second, as you said, they did manage to stop it though, and that was the start of just the end for FaZe. They just collapsed on them. Fortunately, FaZe just didn't seem to have a follow-up. Obviously, that was a play where they saw an opportunity, no one on site, let's just go and take it. The rest of the team just kind of distracting, and it did work to an extent. Had the plant got down, I feel like that probably would have worked because a lot of the players in FaZe were just kind of in areas where Fnatic weren't going to be able to get them, but the attempted follow-up from FaZe just wasn't there. See how Locker CCTV goes, though, for Fnatic, which is normally the start site.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Definitely. I was talking to them earlier too about some of the rush strats and where they try and take opportunities and stuff like that, like against fours.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're like, sometimes it's a play, and it definitely wasn't against fours. That was an opportunity, I think, where they thought they had an opportunity again to make a play, and it wasn't the play. And so, I don't know, maybe just the moves they're making aren't always working out the way they are. Maybe they were baited into that by Fnatic, who were actually expecting that.
So going downstairs now will be Fnatic on the defense. Started upstairs in Teller's Archives. It looked like things were about to go to hell for them, honestly. That was terrifying how close that was to getting down as a plant. Although with how few people from FaZe were actually close to the objective, I don't think they could have covered that. I think that could have been an immediate ninja diffuse onto the diffuser for
That's a good point as well. Yeah, that can backfire by not having people in position, but I don't know. I feel like they would have been cut down on their rotates.
Possibly.
Members of FaZe.
It would have been interesting to see that round conclude with the plant going down, or the plant being completed.
Let's get that time machine fired right up.
Hey, maybe we'll see another version of events here on a different round similar to that one.
Well, it will be the normal site now. They are taking a bit of time to get inside the map, but it's not unusual for Bank. Of course, you've got to be careful. No Jackal being played, despite it not being banned, though. That's an odd choice to me from FaZe, as this is the map where Jackal calls home for good reason. And a lot of times even Jackal banned on this map. The fact that they have it available and aren't using it seems an odd choice. I mean, they do have a lot of valuable operators, though, and it is hard to trade one of them off. You do need kind of both those hard breachers to an extent, especially for CCTV lockers. The Buck is probably one of the few things I could see maybe traded out.
That's probably what I'd be trading out. And speaking of trading out, that's 6 consecutive kills now for Fnatic with no response from FaZe. So this is feeling reminiscent of the Secret and Rogue game on Coastline. But for right now, it's Fnatic still in the driver's seat. Lusty lost a bit of health in that engagement, but for the most part, he's standing tall. And there goes Mav as well. 3v5 now for FaZe to work out of. And again, this is a basement defense. They haven't even made it to the second floor yet. Yuna for one, but Rizraz on the trade onto Ion. Now down to Cameraman and Yuna, the 2 hard breachers left standing, trying to work their way out of quite the predicament. Man outside of stock, and Magna will cut down Yuna, trying to engage into the janitor closet. And another one for Rizraz. The gunfights going all Fnatic all day.
Was that their flawless round? I think they lost
No, they lost one.
Yeah, wow. That was close to being a flawless round, though.
Yep.
Defense on Bank. Definitely good for Fnatic here. Again, though, not bringing Jackal. It's maybe costing them a bit. It is funny, though, as you pointed out, that was nowhere near the bomb site. Everyone just dying upstairs. It's appropriate a lot of those kills came from Janitor because they were definitely mopping up that time. Lusty as well, especially with that double kill. Yeah, he took a bit of damage, but it was like, at that point, he could die, and he's more than done his job. But the fact that he lived through both and was there to put more pressure on them, I mean, this will be interesting to see how CEO goes, since most of the fights were around CEO that last round anyways. Cameraman gonna sneak off maybe to the Jackal from the Maverick, if he reads into it. Because actually they need the Thatcher, so, but nope. All right, well, oh no, I'm sorry, they already got the Jackal on Mav. What am I saying? Sometimes you get tunnel vision when you're looking at the 6-pick.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
They do need that Thatcher, and they're not going to have it, potentially, although at the end of the day, they might just try and impact trick it anyways, although I think the only operator they have that has impacts would probably be the castle. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember now if Rook can bring impacts or not. I think he can, so Rook might have them as well. Can we take a look at Magnet's loadout real quick, Marcio? On Rook, just to see if he might be bringing impacts. Or Maestro's. I think he's trying to do the click on the particular operator thing. Doesn't always work. There's the scoreboard though. Yuna with the 1 kill that he got last round. Magnet, Riz, Raz, Lestial at least with 2. And then 1 each for the other 2 players. Not looking good for FaZe so far. And the rounds have also been fairly short, given how aggressive they were trying to be and how much it failed. So I think FaZe is going to have to be a lot more careful in their approach, and I think they're going to have to play off better intel in terms of pinching out roamers. And that's, you know, some of the problem they're running into is they're trying to 1v1 a lot of these players, and a lot of the Fnatic players are 2v1ing the attackers in situations. You saw a lot of good crossfire across the hallway upstairs last round. Definitely paid off, and they played off each other very, very well.
Airman's taking a little bit of damage as Fnatic probably not going to lean off the gas pedal anytime soon. They're really enjoying taking the fight to FaZe, and it's kind of what FaZe did last night to them as well, and man, FaZe struggled with it. So for Fnatic here, the Aussie representatives, honestly, used to be the presumptive #1 seed coming out of APAC every single season, and now there's a few more teams in the mix, and Fnatic hasn't performed as well as I think they and their fans might have hoped at recent LAN events. So there's a little bit of breathing room and a little to prove here for Fnatic as well.
I'm surprised, honestly, that FaZe are struggling so much against the kind of an aggressive push from defense, because that's the norm in Latin America. A lot of defense isn't even a lot of setup. It's mostly a lot of just a little bit of setup in the site and then a lot of pushing back. And Fnatic now actually turtling up and just waiting for opportunities to push back. And no, deployable shield on the Rook, not to impact, so.
I think one thing that really started to screw with FaZe yesterday was the change of pace that FaZe were bringing. One round, you got 3 people jumping out of windows and soaring out of skylights, and the next round, everyone's bunkered on site. Yeah. This kind of feels like a round where Fnatic's saying, yeah, let's switch up the pace on him. Let's hit him with a reverse and just bunker up. And it's CEO, obviously. You can't do a whole lot from other floors, but still, it feels like that change of pace really messes with FaZe's mentality and their pacing throughout the rounds. I mean, right now we're a minute deep. It's a 5v5, and FaZe has barely made any progression.
Yeah, I think this turtling up is absolutely working. They're not giving up any angles. They're forcing them to kind of watch around a lot. And I can imagine the Jackal tracking not doing a ton for them either, other than telling them on site. The big yellow laser giving away Nomad's position there. Going for an angle, unfortunately, does not land enough shots to be able to do it. But here, oh, never mind. Now Maestro doesn't have to come around thanks to Virtue getting the kill. Planting coming down again from Yuna, though. Somehow he's just the sneakiest defuse planter. Actually gets away with it now. Oh, it gets it with it. Docks him as he's falling out, still gets downed. I love that play, but Fnatic still have a huge man advantage here. Now the defense trying to come and hold this even from below. Cameraman managed to get outside. Can they ninja defuse this from above? They're trying to sneak around. He's at a good angle. They could potentially see him, but there needs to be a distraction here for Fnatic to stop this. Why aren't you shooting back down, Fnatic? Shoot back down! Oh, they defuse. Doesn't matter. Fnatic, again, sneak all you want to plant that diffuser. If you're not prepared to cover it, don't have the manpower for it, doesn't matter. Like, they're all stacked there, too, and just nothing to do against. You still have the ITA. Just keep opening up the floor at that point.
Well, through 3 rounds, FaZe look like ghosts of themselves. This is their map pick. This is their home territory, basically, on Bank. This is the Latin American map. There's not really another map in the pool that is so favored and so dominated and loved by Latin Americans.
And you know what? You want to know what the attack versus defense win was yesterday for Bank? 50-50. It shouldn't be going this defender sided necessarily.
I don't think it would have made much of a difference if FaZe started on the defense either.
Yeah.
I think right now Fnatic is showing up to play, and FaZe are a little out of sorts right now.
I think so.
I don't know what's going on. I think that change of pace that we were talking about as well, that changing of momentum is really screwing with them, but at the same time, we're used to seeing FaZe play with confidence and not play so timid. And yet they seem very timid right now. They seem terrified.
They're traumatized from Force yesterday.
I mean, they were looking that way against fours yesterday, too. It looked like they had no semblance of where step one was. You know, they're thinking 30 steps ahead, but they don't know what their first step is right now. And it's terrifying to see for FaZe, a team that is constantly renowned as one of the best teams in the world, the best team coming out of Latin America.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, for a Latin American team, they're playing objective well.
5 seconds to go.
They're just not really executing on it in terms of post-plant and good coverage of Yuna. I mean, Yuna is going for the plants. He almost stuck the first one, definitely stuck the third one. He's getting them down. It's just he's probably like, where are my homies?
Honestly, where are his friends? Because that's the thing. If you're going to set up for a plant, you need people in range to cover. And it wasn't like any of the people who died there for FaZe in the pandemonium after the plant was down were anywhere close to covering. I mean, the jump out from Virtue obviously screwed a lot of things up.
I love that, though. Just the Doc McHeal. That was an epic moment. I'm glad we got that.
Dock him up, juice him up as he's falling out the window. I mean, if it works, it works, right?
Bomb has been located.
And I mean, he would have been down to the Claymore and only down to the Claymore no matter what, probably, because he had the Rook armor.
Yeah.
So, doesn't really make a difference, but it was cool nonetheless.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
For FaZe here, and I think lost in the chaos that was round 3, that was another flawless round for Fnatic.
Magnet down, though. Yuna finally doing something besides planting. It's the second kill for him. You know, he was able to get that early kill as well. And you shouldn't be having the Thermite as your only fragger at this point.
That's also a big red flag for me. Astro not getting involved, Mav not getting involved. Cameraman was on a heater yesterday on the first map, or on the second map, sorry.
Yeah.
Against fours. I think Cameraman was up in double-digit kills at one point on either map 2 or 3. A lot of games have happened since then, so sorry if I don't recall that correctly entirely, but. Oh no.
Oh,
Tell me.
Aces.
Yep. Bye.
Oh,
what a
nice
bait.
try. Nice.
What a bait by Cameraman. Aces just sends his life away. Mav with one. Now everyone's getting involved. Rizraz will respond back with one of his own onto Yuna. So there goes your planter. Now the flank coming from Lusty. He's got one lower square and one top square. He's actually got 2 lower square, but to push into the site, Lusty with one. He doesn't see the other one prone behind the column. Now he stands up and Mav decapitates Lusty. Down to a 1v3 now for Rizraz, sitting inside of Tellers. There's a couple kill holes opened up with Purview into Archives, but the drone will come out and spot him inside of Tellers. All the shots will rain out as he slowly makes his way in. Everyone well aware. The hole being opened up behind him. Rizraz non-responsive. Cameraman will hit him with a flatline as well. So FaZe get a round back after Fnatic go full send on it. And I mean, hey, if you're going to start gifting them rounds, then gift them rounds. But props to FaZe for, I guess, playing off that first pick.
Yeah, it certainly did help, but obviously Aces throwing himself out the window was not a big help for Fnatic's defense, as it didn't work. Had it worked, that might have been better. I'm surprised he didn't just go for the shotgun, though. It was why would you run the SMG-11 when you know he's right next to you? But, you know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Round's over at this point. I think FaZe did a good job executing off of their drone work that time. Good job identifying where a lot of the members were. Lusty was trying to fight it with the jammer on Vigil, but it only got him so far because he didn't spot enough of the FaZe Clan players. As you mentioned, the one playing behind the pillar, or prone by the pillar, I guess.
Attackers need to locate.
We'll see if they can change things up this round, though. Back down to the basement they go. Not a big deal that they lost Tellers because they can still play CEO and Locker CCTV.
I think what I was talking about before that round started, which was FaZe not really having a step 1 in place. I think right now their step 1 is get an opening pick.
Yeah.
And that's kind of hard if Fnatic aren't affording that opportunity to you.
Yeah.
In that round specifically, yeah, Fnatic definitely threw a couple lives at you and said, "Hey, do you want an opening pick? Okay, here we're going to give you one."
Yeah.
I feel like after that round, though, Fnatic are going to start realizing that, hey, if we don't give them that opening,
they spend 2 minutes looking for one.
Yeah. And that's the part that really scares me for FaZe right now, is that they are being so slow if they don't get gifted some kind of opportunity. As long as Fnatic play a level-headed game based on what we've seen from FaZe so far and last night, I don't think they're going to stand much of a chance.
I think the bringing the Valkyrie cameras and the pulse sensor is a good idea, because they can play back a little bit more and wait for the opportunity for FaZe, because they can get a bit more intel, use that to their advantage rather than exposing themselves, because as you're pointing out, exposing themselves is what cost them the round. If they just play a bit more turtle, a bit more hidden, almost a bit more retake strategy, let Yuna go for that plant, that seems to work a lot better. So far, I mean, a lot of their successes are in letting Yuna go for the plant.
That seems to be the only thing that's really working for them in the other 3 rounds was Unit getting on site in the midst of absolute chaos and just no information for Fnatic on site. But that hasn't really come back to haunt Fnatic yet.
And that's what I mean. Just get the cameras up, get the heartbeat sensor to get an idea where they're at. Just play it smart. Just keep track of the members of FaZe. Try and deny their drones a little would be good. I'd like to see some Mozzie and Mute play, actually, because FaZe are spending a lot of time on drones early on. Deny those, slow them down even more. They might get down to 30 seconds before they're trying to execute.
This is a really different look from Fnatic as well. Last time they defended the basement, every single FaZe Clan member died on the top floor. This time, everyone for Fnatic is down in the basement. They're covering server quite well, but the server hatch gets opened up.
Like you said, they're trying, they're playing a different, let's change the pace on them. Lusty, though, the first one to go down. His cameras will still be up, but that is a C4 no longer available, which means Virtue's in a tough spot because he doesn't have C4 as the Jaeger. They are going to spot quite a few of them running around, though. He's looking for a pick through the hatch. Will someone give him one? No one's playing the hatch just yet.
Server hatch open. You still have... Oh, no. Hi.
Thank you.
My name's Magnet. I have an FO12. Astro's down below, though, so at least get the trade onto his sister. Her sister. Sophia's sister. However you want to classify that one. The sister rivalry bites Magnet from behind. So now they'll be able to open up the default plant wall. A little under a minute left. A little bit of plant denial on the side of Fnatic. I mean, this looks good for FaZe here.
Yeah, they definitely are not really being contested too much outside of Magnet. Lusty dying early certainly didn't help. Like I said, that C4 missing is going to make it much harder to have enough utility to deny this. They still have the smoke and the C4 in Rizraz's pocket, but they've got to time it right because of a little bit less utility than I think they would like at stopping this. That's a long throw going for the quarterback play here from Aces. Hope he's practiced this angle and has the right pixel spot because a missed throw on that would definitely be bad. It looks like it worked though, pushes him off. Rizraz is going to call out those plays. You saw him actually off a little bit, ready for a C4 throw if needed to cover it. Actually taking some pre-fire shots too. That's going to be a bit more gas going on. Virtue gets the kill and then traded on to Aces. Astro with a second and Rizraz with 2.
Beautiful there from Rizraz with the double nitro, and now he's just hiding inside of the gold fall, turning the corner with the pre-fire! Mav through the bars! Are you kidding me? Into the 0-0-0 overtime!
The pistol pre-fire. You don't hear that often.
No, you don't, and you don't see that very often. That is so unfortunate for Fnatic. That was their round. That was their nitro cell. That was everything they ever could have wanted, and that was the first, I think, truly competitive round of the game so far. That was very back and forth.
That was pretty close, yeah. I mean, it was definitely partially because Fnatic were turtling a little bit. There was a few early contests, but it definitely came down to a lot of fight over the execute, which we hadn't seen a whole lot of yet. It was either the plant went down and the fight happened after, like a minute and a half into the round, or just complete denial from Fnatic. Like you said, though, there wasn't the fight upstairs that time, which gave FaZe a bit of a chance. Maybe they should have gone for the fight upstairs again. But they can go lockers one more time here, give it another try. They've won it once, they lost it once, so certainly worth a shot to try it again. Magnet not going to play the stairs the same way this time, I don't think. There goes a drone from Astro lost. Magnet going to get his cameras set up in some good positions here to be able to at least maybe play a little bit of roam, but he's got some reinforcements. Interesting reinforcement. He's going to actually set up, there's an open soft wall and a reinforced wall on the stock, and it looks like we could have a Mozzie playing inside Janitor Closet, possibly with some of his pests to deny a drone into Janitor, maybe even a rotate inside Janitor over to CEO to give some flexibility. We've got Lusty back on the Vigil again, so it looks like they are going for the top 4 play that they went for the first round, or at least some variation thereof as well. That was a lot more effective than what we saw last round.
Now for this attack here, FaZe looking to equalize, like you said. The stats from yesterday showing the bank is 50-50, at least so far.
Yeah, that's just yesterday. It doesn't factor in today yet.
No.
We should get more stats tomorrow, though, that should factor it in.
But FaZe were looking like they were going to get wiped clean off of bank, and yet now on their own map pick, they're turning this into an actual game here. It's coming down to absolute milliseconds, but unfortunately, Ion's going to lose a drone there to a pest he just could not see. He had no idea where it was, scared to move, and he walked right into it. Nearly a second one now. He's almost lost his second drone, but Cameraman with the opener once again. Lusty going to lose his head. That was a push in from Lobby from Cameraman on the Maverick. Thermite charge coming out onto the CEO walls as well, so split push coming out here from FaZe, doing wonders for them. Portion of the janitor closet wall gets opened up too on the reinforcement. This actually affords Rizraz a lot of visibility to take fights against Yuna. Not a single shot there will connect in. Bad positioning there from Rizraz, exposing his head. So 2 freebies there for FaZe. Now a third one maybe as Fnatic gets chewed up to the stock wall. Oh no, Fnatic starting out so well and falling to pieces in 3 consecutive rounds. A flank now for Virtue, gets 1. Staring down the barrel of the stock hallway looking for more, and no one's going to give him the engagement.
I appreciate the aggression, but Lusty's been really mixed success on the Vigil. Now opening kill definitely didn't help things. Then Magnet and Rizraz just didn't have good teamwork like they had before. He should have been helping him in that janitor closet defense, providing a bit more distraction so they couldn't have got the angle on him through paper. Camera also following it up to Virtue. He got one, but getting traded off on that leaves all of the responsibility on Aces. I don't see this working, but he's trying to make a play here with a rotate.
Reminiscent of the Year 1 Season 3 finals, it's the flanking smoke. Towns off cameraman, will use a Toxic Babe, his last one to choke him off and finish the kill. The plant being completed by Yuna inside a default plant spot. Lots of sprays come to the soft wall. One of them actually Nick Aces, turning the corner, but Yuna on a heater on that round. 3 for the Thermite. And that's FaZe drawing even now, heading into the half. Looks like it took a minute for them to wake up, as was reminiscent of last night, but they're back on top.
Going 3 in a row one way and 3 in a row the other way. Definitely seems like they adjusted accordingly, but just as they get comfortable, side switch. And now we will see Fnatic on the attack and what they will do. CCTV lockers, of course, the starting spot for FaZe. They're not going to go with the unusual tellers play, which worked a little bit the first time for Fnatic, but I won't see anything too crazy from Fnatic other than the cap towel being brought out. Interesting that, you know, with Maestro available, Fnatic didn't really play it, whereas FaZe definitely will with Cameraman. And then a sneaky Pulse coming out here from Mav as well. Of course, the usefulness of Pulse, always good on the site. But actually, no. He's going to go with the Goo Mines instead, all right?
Interesting decision, because that was their only Nitro Cell. Oh, no, the Valkyrie had a Nitro Cell.
Still, though, the Pulse one is one that's usually more likely to be available towards the end of the round if you have an early death, like we saw before with Fnatic. They were in that situation, so yeah, it's not a choice. The Pulse is definitely, I think, overall a better choice, but if they have a plan, they have a plan.
Yeah, they have a plan. I mean, this is their map pick, right? They've got to know it better than we do. They got to know like the back of their hand.
One can hope. You never know.
I'm interested to see, yeah, they are reinforcing, I think. It's hard to tell nowadays because the wood falls out of the reinforcements, so
yeah.
I don't know if they blew open server hatch. They blew open CC hatch, though, so that's odd. And they have reinforced server hatch, so this is going to be a bit of a stretch here. A lot of map control for FaZe, as they've left hatches open. They still reinforce hallway hatch.
It's got to be an open room, then, I think.
I think that's why they swapped off the Pulse, though. They keep the Legion to stretch for map control so they can tell where people are entering from, because they're playing all 3 floors currently. They've reinforced the open area hatches, too. I think knowing now what the strategy is for FaZe, I do like the swap from the Pulse to the Legion.
Yeah, I mean, the Legion's great as long as he can live long enough to get those Goo Mines out. If he plays a little too aggressive, while it's a great gun, you're going to potentially cost yourself a lot of utility for your team. Whereas if you're going to play a little cat and mouse game instead of burn time, I think that's where it definitely comes in handy, because you can use those Goo Mines as little breadcrumb trails to know if someone's following you, slow them down a little bit. Angle being held here by Rizraz, but no one wants to give him the freebie. Drone's going to confirm that. And they're just doing pretty much what FaZe were doing, droning the top floor from outside, trying to make sure they're safe. Of course, hopefully someone droned the lobby to make sure that rappelling out there isn't a death trap.
Nice angle there from Rizraz all the way down to the electrical closet, too, from outside the rappel on the north side. I do like that. He's waiting for the drone to come through. Excellent demonstration of teamwork there. And I mean, that's what Fnatic pride themselves on, is their teamwork and their ability to work together as a unit. There goes one unit of FaZe's own. Astro will meet his demise at the hands of Magnet.
Astro's definitely had a lot of rounds where you're just like, what were you doing? He gets caught off guard yesterday as well. That's definitely no different right there. He's just, I don't know, he's had really mixed play.
This is unfortunate as Magnet fell off his position holding the flank on stairs. They still have Yuna trapped inside of open area. He's taking battle through the teller's wall, and Lusty. Beautiful shot there through the wall onto Yuna. So a quick 5v3 advantage. Rizraz taking a lot of damage there at the hands of Yuna's MPX. Even through a soft wall at medium range, just does a good chunk of the health of the Thatcher on Fnatic, but they do have the 2-man advantage now, and you've lost the only Nitro Cell available to you. You've had to peel back, but those Legion Mines can still stall. They can stall plant. They can still stall a lot of time as well. They give you a lot of info. Either or right now.
Yeah, but now you're in a 3v5 situation. You need to be actually playing a bit more turtle. You can't play aggressive with that Legion. You just have to have them set up the way they're set up. Unfortunately, the housing could have been covering up someone, but it looks like he was actually on the stairs. However, they need to do something about him. You see Rizraz holding the angle, hoping he goes down towards the bottom. They're trying to pressure him down that direction. There are grenades in hand here for Virtue, who will use them now, assuming he bounces them correctly. Looks like he did, pushes it back, but it's a shotgun on those stairs. They've got to play this smart. And it's actually burning up a lot of time, down to 30 seconds. Still a 5v3, but if they run too low on time, it won't matter. Smoke actually doing a good job doing damage to Virtue as well. This is starting to actually slip away from Fnatic despite their advantage.
This is quite the one-man hold here for Ion. He'll eventually perish. There's another one in behind the server rack. That's Mav on the Legion. Still holding inside a server. Turning the corner, but oh, Aces will win that out. Hits the Legion mine. The man carrying the diffuser has to pull a pin out of his leg. Rushing into the site. The wild spray with the ult, with the plant going down from Aces. Turning the corner. Magnet will finally put an end to the round that seemed to be a circus show. Nonetheless, it's Fnatic coming away victorious narrowly. Huge props to Ion for that play in server stairs, single-handedly stalling out for nearly a minute alone as the smoke on the stairs.
Made a big difference. It was definitely longer than we saw Magnet playing that, but Magnet at least got a kill when he did it, and that was just a lot of utility left. And it was really the manpower, unfortunately, that was going to cost Ion, because he couldn't hold that off forever, but that felt like a very long round for how long it took to get to where they were going to go for the execute, and it came down to more fragging out than actually planting that point. It was kind of the opposite of what we saw from FaZe with Yuna in just that long execute. Mab finally actually going to 6th pick that Pulse now. They're going to go lockers. I wonder if they were just picking the castle to tease that they were going to go CEO or open. Doesn't matter, they're going to stick to what they stick to on attack.
Well, Marcy, the first thing I want to see is if Mav was able to get a Nitro Cell, because it looked like he was setting things up. Okay, he did, but the amount of time he was spent setting things up, I think he might not have had his pulse customized. And I was waiting to see, because it defaults to barbed wire, and that's the last thing you hit because it's your special or your secondary utility.
Yeah.
So if you're setting up the UMP for like a sight, a barrel, a grip, with how long those screens take to transition, and you only have 10 seconds with the 6-pick timer, that is tough to set up. So, hey, he got the Nitro Cell, though. Thank you, Marcy. I appreciate you, as always, calling me a noob. Ion 0-5, but, man, give him 3 kills as, I don't know, a blue ribbon for the shenanigans he just pulled off on server stairs.
Yeah, I mean,
that was so impressive to watch single-handedly against 4 members of Fnatic all stacking above him.
And some of that was just Fnatic not playing too well on it, as well coordinated in terms of utility usage and things like that. But yeah, that was good play. Wasn't playing as aggressive as Magnet was, but he was just making sure they couldn't feel comfortable making that push. See if Fnatic can continue to keep this lead. As now they've only played 1 attack round, but they won it. So far they're doing good on attack, but small sample size. See how they do this time. They are concerned about roamers. There was quite a few last time. They've got to know by now that the site is downstairs, though, despite any teasing from the operator picks. So now it's just a matter of getting down there. No roam hunters again coming out, though. Where's the Jackal play?
It's an excellent question. We have not seen a Jackal once yet on Bank. It is not banned. Bana and Montaigne, the attacking bands, Echo and Mira. The defender bands, as you can see up top. A Valkyrie camera spotted out here from the drone of Virtue on the couch right above the server hatch. And that's Astro the Jaeger, who was roaming around pretty far off site last round. He's going to try and play server stairs with, not Ion actually. Ion's playing inside of sight on Red Hall. So it's just Astro. That's a tough weapon to use in the close range there to try and hold the door.
Yeah, that's not the best use. I mean, I understand him being there to set up ADSs, but swap with someone with a shotgun right now. I mean, all you've probably got with a shotgun is smoke, but still, he did pretty good on the stairs last time. Why not put him there again?
Honestly, I don't know what I would prefer. I think I'd still prefer the 416, but maybe even a spray with the Bailiff at that close range could do some damage. I mean, all the hip fire as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. The 416 to me with the low rate of fire, high damage, don't get me wrong. The low rate of fire really doesn't seem like the optimal weapon to have. The server hatch is going to get opened up despite all of our bickering. And that's going to force Astro out. He's already peeled all the way back after Magnet was screwing around with the blowtorch. They just got the CC hatch open there. As you can see all the debris falling down. You hear the sound cue. So that means that Magnet took too long to get the CC hatch, and that allowed the escape for Astro to make it back into the site. Yeah,
unfortunate. But hey, you know what? They didn't lose anyone on Fnatic either. No damage done to either team, and time dwindling down here. So not sure if this is a good or bad take with Fnatic yet, because they're just now getting set up to execute. But assuming they pull it off correctly, it doesn't take terribly long to do. It's just about baiting out utility now. They do have quite a bit. They have smokes plus 2 C4s. So, yeah, it's not going to be quick here, and unfortunately that's really what's going to cost them. They need to do something to be able to stop this. They do have the Capitao, though. They need to start burning out red as best they can, but the fact it's playing from so far, but it's C4. Bait or not, that utility comes out. Cameraman finds another one.
Yuna with 2 huge kills in the Nitro cell, following up with the Cameraman with the Alda. Now the asphyxiating bolts come. Lusty drops to it, an immediate death. Rizraz will get 1 to stop it from being a flawless round, but I mean, call it basically a flawless round. FaZe back in control there with some time control. A lot of time wasted there for Fnatic getting in, and then huge plant denial utility usage there for FaZe. We draw even at 4-4.
Yep, back and forth we go. It was back and forth in terms of 3 in a row, then 3 in a row. Now it's 1 and 1. Dizzle concentrating, trying to use his psychic powers to influence the team. No technical timeouts or anything called yet as far as I know. I don't know if there's been... Nope, no technical timeouts yet either. It looked like the clock is still ticking, so we're good on that. Same lineups coming out here so far, but open area, and the castle pick going to be real this time. Let's see, if I recall, did we see open from... Was it from FaZe yesterday?
No, we saw it from Rogue versus Secret.
That's what it was.
And there was no castle used on that side.
That was an odd choice.
It was. But we're going to open area regardless. We do have a castle in play. No 6 picks utilized on either side of the board from Fnatic or FaZe, and we're drawing even. I mean, props to FaZe for bringing this one back, as they did time and time again against Floors last night. You know, the last 2 maps, FaZe really brought those back, even winning the second map on a comeback as well, winning 5 rounds in a row on Villa. I mean, man, if FaZe could just wake up and play on time, imagine how well they'd be doing in this tournament.
It also sounds like you're describing Rogue from yesterday as well.
True. I mean, another situation where Rogue were asleep at the wheel in the beginning, and they had to turn on the Jets late game to really, because, man, Coastline was another evidence, another piece of evidence for that take as well. 3 flawless rounds in a row. It was almost 3 flawless rounds in a row here for Fnatic as well. Off of 1 kill, like 1 kill off from 3 flawless rounds straight for Fnatic.
Very true. And we'll see if Fnatic can bring it back, though. I mean, they're still in an okay position with it being tied. They're on defense, but no side is favored, as I said. You know, it was a 50-50 out of yesterday, and so far it has been kind of a 50-50 on this match here, because you had the 50-50 in the first half, and so far it's 1 and 1 in this half, so staying perfectly 50-50 right now.
Well, open area is quite the call, because they had 3 sites open to them. It was open tellers and CEO available to them, and yet they decided to go to open area. So clearly they've got something in the back pocket for this. This looks like a pretty standard setup, though. I mean, the castle barricades on the teller's door and the elevator hallway door on main floor. I mean, I don't see anything crazy inventive. They're not holding a lot of top floor, but I imagine they have the hatches reinforced.
That's just setup. It depends on how you play it as well.
Yeah. And look at Astro going for that flank, and yeah, he's going to get the kill on square stairs as well. There goes Lusty. There goes the Capitao. It's a big pick early for Astro.
That's definitely going to pay off there. That's a lot of pressure relieved. Although when it comes to open area, I'm not sure Capitao is like the biggest influence, but it certainly helps. They do have the sledge at least to be able to open up these castle barricades fairly easily, but you risk your feet being exposed when you do so. And hitting that one actually just to his right that leads into the hallway, that's actually a risky one because you have to move away from it quickly because you expose yourself to a pretty big hole in a lot of angles. And Ion is playing near it, so going to look for those feet right now. But you're going to have to be very careful. Might even just use a lifeline or a grenade to open it up just to be safe. Camera spotted by Astro there, who is now in a much safer area, downstairs-ish. Looks like Fnatic aren't sure how they want to play this. This is not the bomb site they were expecting.
Yeah, this is slow going here for Fnatic. They lost Lusty on that initial peek from Astro, and then from there, not a lot of progression. Virtue looked like he does want to take down this castle barricade. He's got a man trapped inside of the elevator, and Ion, don't think that hatch is open either for him to fall. It was, so actually Ion's going to book it downstairs, get out of harm's way from Virtue, and they're going to continue to stall time here as Fnatic opening up hatches up above into open area, but outside of that, not a lot of progression towards the objective. The good thing is they've been able to corral FaZe either back to site or downstairs into the basement.
That's the thing, is that could come back to bite them. Astro trying to do just that, but he's taking so much damage. It's not going to matter. Cameraman gets one, but Rizraz and Magnet, who finishes off Astro, but Ion trades it back under Rizraz. So the back and forth continues, but advantage FaZe right now with 1-man advantage, although one of them very low on health.
Ace is carrying the diffuser up top, looking for a hatch drop as Magnet pushes into the small office. Read beautifully by Mav, leaving Aces alone, and he falls to the hands of Yuna with the Alda. So, that is FaZe's first lead on Bank in this series. 5-4 game right now for FaZe.
On open, too.
On open area.
Well done by them. Just a lot of good gunfights and angles played off, but also the flanks that came out. The rotates downstairs working out to an extent, although it didn't work out as great for Astro, unfortunately, but good plays by the rest of the team. It seemed like Fnatic just couldn't be comfortable on their push. Didn't really have a solid enough strat on how they were going to play that, and FaZe used that to their advantage. It's only 1 point lead, though, and if this continues to go back and forth, Fnatic could take this round. Looks like they're going to take a tactical timeout to discuss it first, though. I think we will be going to CEO when it comes back. At least that's the pick so far.
Looking like it. So Dizzle needs to, I guess, refocus the troops here. This has gone off course real quick here for Fnatic, and the good news for Fnatic is at least they're having a better showing than they did in either of the maps against Dark Zero yesterday.
Yeah.
This is just, it's fallen off the rails pretty quickly with FaZe on a surging, storming comeback right now. I mean, props to FaZe for getting back into it, because things were getting out of hand mighty quick for the Latin American squad, and this is an elimination match here. You drop map number 1, you got an uphill battle the whole way just to keep yourself alive in it, and we've seen a lot of 2-0s already today.
Yeah.
We don't expect this to end in 2 maps. We imagine it'll go all 3, but...
Well, there you go again.
There I go again,
Never
right?
learn.
I never learned.
You don't adapt.
Well, is it the reverse of the curse thing? Because I said I don't know. I didn't say anything about it, and then I got 3 maps every game at SI. So this is the reverse of the curse. Now I say it early, it's going 3, and then it ends 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Work. We've seen a lot more 2-0s in group stages overall than I expected. Than we usually get.
Yep.
It's been impressive.
It has been, and it's not like they've been absolute domination.
No, a lot of them have been close on the second map to
Yep.
potentially going to a third map. Just the one team closes it out before it can.
The game we just casted, Dark Zero versus Force, comes to mind. Dark Zero Fnatic yesterday, that wasn't exactly close. But also, FaZe versus Force yesterday looked like it was going to be a disgustingly short 2-0. And yet that went 3. So we're all over the place here. Close 2-0s and disparaging 2-1s.
Yeah. We'll see how this CEO defense goes for FaZe on their first time on it. They've done lockers twice, open area once, CEO now. They haven't done tellers yet, but they can after this if they want to. They've definitely got the castle barricades set up in a few areas to try and slow this down. Playing some long angle here with Yuna, hoping to catch someone on top of the parking garage. Looks like no one wants to cooperate. They're going instead for more of a square push. Magnet, though, droning, just making sure its lobby is clear, so they can push in from below, potentially, if they need to. But actually decides not to go in. It was just more of a bit of a drone. He's going to go for the repel instead. This could be playing right into Yuna's hands, depending on whether Yuna is still watching or not. Nope, he's not going to go for the peek. Just getting on up to the roof. Virtue also trying to see if he can push in from square. They're just really trying to understand the positioning of FaZe first before they do anything. Problem is they're not really taking a lot of territory. They're droning, but not droning to actually take territory. And I think that's a huge mistake because this is going to cost them a lot of time. And Fnatic's time management has not really been the best.
No, not on the attacking side. On the defensive side, they were doing a good job of wasting time early and taking early engagements, at least beginning of the first half. But you're right, the time control here for Fnatic on the attacking side for lackluster. Both of these teams playing rather timid on the attacking side, and it looks like in this elimination game, maybe the pressure is starting to get to them of, yeah, we don't really want to make a mistake, because if we do, it could be the end of our run here in Raleigh.
I mean, it just doesn't even look like they have an entry fragger. It looks like they're just like, let's all drone the entire map, and then we'll go in and, you know, just random doorways and try and make it work. It just doesn't seem very coordinated. Ion reading into that a little bit. Unfortunately, the Firebolt's going to force him into a tough spot. He's getting burned out of Janitor down to just one tiny spot he can stand in. He does still manage to save a bit of his health, but not a ton. Magnet, in the meantime, finishes him off.
Ion all the way over in stock will get that kill onto Ion. Not exactly sure how in the world that happened when Ion retreated, but hey, you take those. So now they're popping open the conference room wall that was left soft. Rather curious decision there. Also, the front CEO walls left soft as well. Astro taking aim, but really only landing a couple shots onto Virtue there. Most amount of damage has been done onto Lusty. Yuna overhealed himself for some grand plan, but it looks like that didn't come to fruition.
Nope, it's just gonna, his buff is gonna waste away there, but you know, at least he doesn't go negative somehow. Unless he has taken a bit of damage, so it could be a finish here, but Mav, the nice angle is gonna just actually down him, so the damage does work out. Virtue also is the one nicked a little bit, but they're probably gonna have a chance to pick up Lust here. I don't think it's gonna be finished off. Virtue in the meantime actually takes advantage of them working towards that. Astra goes down. Important pick there onto the Maestro.
We're going into a 5v3 here as Astra got slapped off of planet Earth. And Cameraman going for the flank up square stairs, though. This could be the nail in the coffin. Fnatic, no one paying attention. 2 easy kills for Cameraman leveling man count. The Nitro Cell onto Aces. Diffuser on the ground. They're going to win it on time. That's FaZe Clan putting themselves on map point on bank.
There's one very important thing just completely wrong about Fnatic's attack. And I said it at the beginning of the round. They're droning for nothing. They're not following the drones. There's no real entry frag happening. They're just droning. I mean, unless you're just going around as tourists trying to take pictures of the bank to case the joint for next round, it's not helping. Your time management is biting you. Drone for someone to get in the building. You're scared? Bring a jackal. It's allowed. Just look at the footprints. That will work. Heck, at this point, bring a shield to walk into the building. I mean, yes, I know Monty's banned, but you still even have Fuse or the Blitz. It's just do something to get into the dang building in the first half of the round with a drone in front of you instead of a drone sitting there on flank watch. I mean, it's just
need to locate and defuse
drone for each other. This just, it seems a little irresponsible to drone and then just hope that information is still accurate. Because FaZe aren't going to stand still for you. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do something a little bit better this round, but it bothers me a little bit to see that versus some team like Empire, who's so efficient. They're droning to do things, to take map control, to get in. Someone's following behind the drone. That's why they're efficient. That's why it works. That's why they're not getting bit by time. We're just not seeing that from Fnatic.
Which is interesting because I mean you have Magnet and Virtue.
10 seconds to go.
Who should be your. I mean, Magnet's more of a flex than anything. But,
Yeah.
I mean, Virtue should be your entry right
Put
now.
him on Ashe at this point. Just let him do his thing. He's a good Ashe player.
He's been playing incredibly slow. The whole team has, like you said. Fnatic really not having much of an entry at all, and that's your spearhead right there. You play off that momentum of your opening pick or your opening death, whichever way it falls from your entry player. You either play for the trade on his demise, or you play momentum off of his opening pick, and you go from there. And the same thing I said about FaZe applies here to Fnatic now. They have no step one. They're waiting for that opening pick to be gifted to them. And in that last round, they got 2 of them. They got Ion. They got both the Plantinel operators.
Yeah.
They got the Smoke and the Maestro. And they
just
still
no time.
could not push in. And the walls were soft too. Why, if you got a sledge, why is that wall not being opened up, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. At least they're getting into the building this time. They're droning a little bit, but they're droning for themselves. If you have an entry fragger, unless it's like one of those Ashe players that's just like trying to go in and follow their own drone, have someone drone for him. Let him get in and do some work. It's Virtue. He's a fragger. It's too slow.
He's an incredibly good fragger too. We saw his debut performance at the 6 Invitational as well.
Yeah.
That was remarkable to see.
I don't know. Seemingly not working so great so far, but at least no one's died on Fnatic yet. And they are a little bit closer. They have actually gotten in the building in the first minute. So that's a good start. Now they just need to clear these stairs and push for this blocker's defense. It took them a while when Ion was playing it. I'm not sure who's playing it right now, but maybe Ion again.
It sounded like Astro. Sounded like
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Did sound like the 416, yeah. He's pulled back though. He does know that they're opening it, and he sees the burn marks. There we go. Oh.
Virtue unable to claim the life of Astro as he'll try and peel back now, but the CC hatch being opened up means they're... Okay,
Ooh.
no. I was going to say that means that their return is cut off, but no, they're going to take some shots up the CC hatch, up at Magnet. So instead, yeah, they're going to get the retreat for free because Magnet pulls off that angle. He's trying to open up the server hatch now. No, he's trying to open up hallway hatch. Turns his attention back away, and again, missed opportunity there for 2 free kills as Astro and Mav both retreat to the safety of the objective. 50 seconds left. The last time we saw Fnatic try and plant in this scenario, they got picked apart by the Plantinel utility. This is looking like it's going to be a replication of that last round. As wall will get opened up here, but there's not a whole lot else they can use to pressure anyone else. I mean, Ion is so deep, you can't get to him.
I like that at least they have the cross open from, I was going to say from the Maverick, but they actually blew it with the Thermite as well. That will help. Grenade's going to come out as well, but unfortunately they need to burn ADSs, so Virtue can't nade over there yet. But at least they have a crossfire onto the spot, but now they're going to have to bait out the smokes first, as those are coming from lockers. But there's one grenade landing on Yuna. Good start. They have the Capitao, though. Why is he not burning out hallway?
It's all going to come down to this one. 4v5 here for FaZe. The Nitro gets shot at in midair. Rizraz with one, but Mav with the kill onto Ace. The diffuser is on the ground. Cameraman perishes. Virtue picking up the plant. He's going to have to put it into the overtime. Lusty covering right beside the rotate. It's Mav left alone. A pistol out in hand, but Magnet will shut it down, keeping Fnatic and the Aussies' hopes alive here on map number 1.
They did finally have the Capitao firebolt that red hallway, and that made all the difference because it locked them out of there so they could actually get the plant down. They just wanted to bait out some of the smokes first. So overall, a much better round for Fnatic. They actually droned to get into the building, got in the building in the first minute, pressured the stairs, got the wall open, opened the other wall for the cross angle, baited out a couple smokes, and then put pressure on with the firebolt, went for the flank from garage side, and that was it. That was textbook play at that point. Very good execute. They still burned up maybe a bit too much time, but that was much, much better than the round before it, and on a harder site, which they're going to have to tackle again to try and bring this to overtime. See if they can manage. 6-5. It's definitely looking tough. We may have a technical timeout or a tactical timeout. It looks like tactical timeout from FaZe. So, of course, FaZe want to close this map out here. They just need to win this one round to do so, as it's 6-5 right now in FaZe's favor. Map point, rally the troops, call out their mistakes a little bit. Although, to be fair, I think that was just a better execute by Fnatic rather than any kind of mistakes by FaZe. Tried to do what they could. I like that they're playing the smokes from far back. Both teams doing that, where they're playing the smokes from all the way in the lockers to be able to throw them without being exposed to red hallway fire and grenades and things like that. But that one grenade landing from Virtue definitely helped a lot with that attack. Good timing and placement of that on him. So hopefully they can maintain some of that aggression and better time management this round to take it to that overtime, give themselves a chance to win this map. But this was FaZe's map pick, so it's not the worst situation if FaZe win it, as they will then go to Clubhouse, which is Fnatic's map pick. And I'm going to sneak to the Legion there, and they are going to go to lockers again still. See if they can successfully defend it this time. Now they've had a good chat, but also Fnatic taking time to chat as well about what they could do to try and bring this to that overtime. Build off of what they did successfully that round versus the round before it. They are bringing the same utility as well, but now FaZe are going to know how they might play that. However, we could see, let's say they wanted to really shake things up and go for hatch drop in the vault. They could go that way as well, and I really doubt that would be expected by FaZe, which would be interesting because you have the smoke playing in lockers, and a vault drop, if played right with that information, could completely catch him from behind and maybe even wall-bang him through the soft wall if they don't reinforce the wall that faces out towards the vault bars side.
10 seconds to go.
I like that Evil Eye because it can see into the room thanks to the part of the wall that he opened up with the bailiff.
5 seconds remaining.
Go, I was going to say, I hope you're not having your slowest operator go up to reinforce hatches, but now he's just setting up his barbed wire. Getting some angles opened up here. I like that, so you can play long angles as well as hold garage. It's a good setup here for that. Good Evil Eyes. I like the kind of they cross each other as well. See? Ion actually looking for any drones from sewers that might indicate they could go for a push right there just for speed. As a push from sewers, if no one's holding server, is actually pretty efficient. But this just crouch walk in from Magnet in through lobby, this is interesting.
Usually we've been seeing a lot more resistance from FaZe in terms of entry into the building for Fnatic when Fnatic have been attacking, and yet FaZe have been more successful when they've been peeling off. Just the server hold has been enough to stall out Fnatic. That last round that they won there really came down to the wire, and I mean, if that Nitro Cell connects instead of falling errant that time, I mean, we're probably going to Clubhouse immediately. So, I mean, I like the peel back here from FaZe. I think Fnatic are reading it and trying to expedite things, that they're also wasting a lot of time. Hatch needs to get opened up early, though, from Magnet so that they can catch the rotate back. They've allowed so many times the server hold members from FaZe to freely come back to site.
Yeah, but I do like that at least they're being a lot faster this time. This is a good change of pace. Oh, instead of the 416, he's going M870. So double shotguns here between Ion. Hopefully he doesn't shoot him in the back on accident, because you know Ion's going to be juking around in the last second. Could be obviously the 416 or the M870 needs to wait for the right moment when they're much closer. But that's Magnet going down first. No more hatches going to get burned out here. Hopefully they got the server hatch already.
Other way around. Magnet got the kill on.
Sorry, Magnet got the kill. Yeah.
There we go. So Yuna's gone. There goes your Nitro cell. You still have Ion and Astro holding, but now the hatches for their return have been opened up. So now this is the full send. This is the full commitment. There's no getting out of this for Ion or Astro. They have to hold to their last breath. It's exactly what they will do. Magnet holding rotate back just for good measure. They also have the server hatch open. Hey, it's a tandem of shotguns holding inside a stairwell. I mean, there's no better opportunity for Ion and Astro to really decimate the rest of this Fnatic roster. There goes one onto Virtue. The second one comes in, and the M870 from Astro, evading the flashbang again, but they both get blinded. Ace with one, he gets them both. Ace is pushing down the server stairs, and they still have plenty of time in the bank to work with. Mav takes a lot of damage to try and come in for support as well. This could be Fnatic pushing us to overtime.
Cameraman definitely worried about the flank now from Garage, but one isn't coming. That's actually just putting him off site at the moment. He's actually going to rotate around potentially to main stairs. Mav watching for a hatch drop that he's expecting because Magnet did it before. No, it's not coming out just yet. They're starting to open more up, get ready for the actual execute. They only have 14 seconds to do it.
Spray's coming in through those Mav holes in the wall, trying to hit the long angle. Be cameraman, but Crouch just barely underneath. The impact comes in, but it doesn't do enough damage. Magnet and Rizraz, let's go to overtime, because why the hell not? Fnatic bring that back from the depths, and we're going OT on bank. Since it was FaZe's pick, I imagine that means that it's FaZe's pick for overtime side.
I believe so. Yes. Or no, I think Fnatic are... Yeah, FaZe are on defense first.
FaZe would pick defense first.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, run that one back again on lockers and CC. I mean, the double shotgun strat worked pretty well.
I like the idea of them taking shifts on it. So if one gets blinded, they switch out.
Yep.
So that they're not... But once they got double blind...
That was over.
That was it. That was over, yeah. But that took a lot of flashbangs to make that work, and they did lose a member in the process, but they had man advantage for execute. Plus, cameraman wasn't sure, am I going to get pinched? And they weren't sure about a hatch drop as well. They just really weren't sure, and they didn't have a smoke left alive to delay things because he was the one who died on the stairs. So, good ideas, but ultimately, just Fnatic executed better.
Well, it looked like Mav tried to go for a 6-pick off of the pulse there at the last second, just not enough time to do so. So maybe some last-second alterations to the lineup here, but intrepid comeback so far for Fnatic. Big kill totals on the side of Fnatic in the top portion. Rizraz and Magnet 11 and 14 apiece. Virtue getting involved as well at 8 and 7. And I mean, the whole board is doing well. There's no person here that's really failing in the kill department. Ion obviously the lowest on the board, but as well, I mean, he's a support player. He's purely a support player. It's not his job to pick up a whole lot of kills. His job is to waste time. That's why I said when he was 0-5, give him 3 kills as a blue ribbon.
Yeah, right.
Consolation prize for that play in server stairs solo.
Yeah, sometimes you don't get kills for playing time necessarily.
Yeah.
But it can matter more than any kill sometimes.
I mean, we saw a round yesterday end with 7 people still standing. So
it's crazy.
As long as you're killing time on the defense, it's worth a lot and it won't ever show up on the scoreboard.
That's the motto. Killing time is better than killing people.
Sometimes it is, especially on the defense.
Well, we'll see if Magnet's going to go in swiftly again. This time he's not going to crouch walk across the middle. He's going to go upstairs instead to rotate around just to be a little bit unpredictable, set up that Claymore again. So they don't, if they saw where he was coming last time, they won't expect the same way. But same ultimate goal for him. Just go pre-fire the stairs, then go to set up open area. Oh, and looks like he wants to clear over to the kitchen first. No, he's working for this hatch. This is priority here, I think. Could actually take down that deployable shield quickly if he was able to get close enough for that torch, but that would be a bad play.
Just got a glimpse of it momentarily, but I believe Astro has stuck the M870. I think they're going to run that strat back, and they have, yep.
Might as well. I mean, it was a good strat. It just, timing didn't work out for the flashbangs on them. They actually have the pulse also helping call things out for him. As Mav's just identifying when someone's getting near the door. And that's a good thing, because if he can call out exactly when they're at the door, then one of the shotgun players can push up and take some shots, then back off, let the other shotgun player rotate up. I like the idea, at least.
Magnet having a lot of issues popping open the CC hatch here. Does have a lot of fuel left in the tank, though, so able to pop open the CC hatch after doing, I guess he opened up just a portion of the CC or the server hatch. I don't think he opened up entirely.
Located by attackers.
Yeah, it's hard to say until we see it.
Yeah, he just opened up the corner.
All right, well, maybe that's all they need to put pressure on the doorway itself, and so I can understand that. If you only need the one angle right now, you can always open up the rest later if you need to with the thermite. They are still trying to clear the stairs. Fire doing a little bit of work in that, but no, smoke going to push him back. Not much damage done to anyone so far, though.
Now that sounds like that was the server hatch being blown wide open by a thermite charge. So everyone's going to be collapsing upon the server stairs now. And there goes cameraman Magnet. Sounds like he's in sight. He is. He picks off the two members that aren't holding server. He has sight control. You can tell Aces to dip out as fast as possible and join him over in lockers. Last three remaining members for FaZe are all pushing inside a server. Virtue gets the trade onto Ion after Mav takes down Aces. The M870 comes blasting out of server stairs. But Lusty again, the trade's playing well for Fnatic. A 5 HP pulse left in server. And Fnatic running it straight to OT match point.
Well done by Fnatic. They seem to have finally found their groove and their pace. I think going to lockers was maybe a little bit of a mistake because it seemed like Fnatic finally found how to attack it. And despite FaZe trying with the double shotguns, it's just funny, like, oh yeah, go ahead and play your double shotgun thing. Hey, why not bring Pulse in server as well? That means there's no one on site hardly. Magnet took full advantage of that really good play on his part, going around while they're fully distracted and just taking sight from behind. That was the way to do it. That was the play. Tellers again as their starting defense in OT here from Fnatic. Interesting choice. As I mean, it worked, I guess, the first time, but not the second time. So Mozzie going to come out along with Lusty on that Vigil again. 6th pick from Mav. You don't want the Jackal, really? All right. You have a Vigil here. You see the Vigil. I guess you'll see the Vigil to an extent as well on the IQ. So,
attackers need to locate and defuse.
That's what you want to do.
We'll see. We've seen a couple freebies with the IQ through floorboards and stuff on people on cams, and
yeah,
hey, you never know. And a pulse using a cardiac sensor. Seen a couple of those as well. So
at least they'll also see the pulse and possibly some of the pests and cameras. So he will get some utility out of it for sure. But I don't know. We just haven't seen enough Jackal to know if it would even have impacted these rounds.
So for Fnatic here, they've pushed themselves to match point on map number 1 here. We'll be going to Clubhouse next, guaranteed. And should we need it, Consulate will be the decider if we have to go all 3 maps to decide who goes home here in Group D. The first team to be eliminated from Group D will be decided at the conclusion of this best of 3. And day 2 will be over at the conclusion of this match as well.
Yeah. Will be interesting. Obviously, we have the other match going on the other stream as well to try and wrap things up over there. Not sure where they're at. I'll take a little peek, see if we get an idea. But this map is just about over, but it's still only the first map.
I like to run out there for Magnet as well. I mean, take a swing. I mean, he didn't get punished for it as well, so it's looking pretty good.
Oh, interestingly enough, it's Bank on the other stream as well, and also very close to a conclusion. Won't spoil what it is, but it's looking interesting over there. And looks like definitely getting close to a conclusion. And that's the conclusion of that map. I won't say who won, but they're already on map 2, so we're working our way there as well.
We'll be joining them momentarily. I believe we started before them, but we obviously have had a bit of a longer match here.
Yeah, theirs is not as close as this one.
Close, though.
Close. Cameraman sneaking up, hoping to catch someone off guard, and does so, sitting on his phone. There goes Magnet. Unfortunate.
Didn't even need the freebie with the IQ sensor. Cameraman just pushing up the spiral stairs, swinging around the corner, and Rizraz will drop Cameraman like a sack of hot potatoes. Now rushing back up the spiral stairs, evading the drones that aren't his own, as the Mozzie could be capturing a couple, but he's already deployed all the pests. Seems to have slowed down FaZe momentarily. Astro pushing through Conference as he'll turn the corner in tandem with Mav pushing down the banana hallway. Rizraz looking for a second one before he falls off, but he thinks better of it. Midway point in the round, he wants to take his pick on his trade, trading out his fallen comrade of Magnet, get back to site safely. He does have a Nitro cell as well with Virtue, so I don't know, Virtue's already used his Nitro, so last remaining Nitro in the back pocket of Rizraz.
2 smokes have already been used as well. That's a lot of utility dedicated. Just 1 left and no Nitro there. Like, I mean, at least, yeah, Rizraz has his, but that's a lot of utility just for 1 kill done so far. But they have burned 2 minutes. There is that.
Yeah, time control really on the side of Fnatic here. It's going to cause a bit of an expedition of time here and efficiency coming out from FaZe to really converge onto the site effectively. And Lusty now throwing on the ERC and going from the flank up the banana stairs, going right back down. Taking a shot for what it's worth, but falling right back. And it looks like Virtue and Rizraz are going to play as a tandem downstairs in the basement, leaving Lusty and Aces alone on the objective.
I feel like Jackal would have helped here because there's so much movement coming out from Fnatic right now. They would be so much more pinned down, but they're just going everywhere and anywhere. Nothing stopping. Even Ace is running around outside. FaZe cannot lock these guys down, and that's what's ultimately going to cost them, but they might go for a sneaky plan in Archives again from Yuna. Lusty, though, punishing Ion does put man count in Fnatic's advantage, especially that kill from Rizraz. Still traded back with 3-2.
Well, plant going down from Yuna. He's alone on site while Mav is still topside. He's come down and support Yuna, but the plant going down. No one on Fnatic aware of this. Yuna successful in that endeavor. He'll have to back his way out. Rizraz for a flank through blue stairs, and it looks like Mav is reading this as he's made his way down to the square lobby on the middle floor. Everyone retreating and trying to regroup on the side of Fnatic. Virtue going topside. Spots the Claymore. Good eye from him. He's going to go up and over. Mav has made his way over towards Kitchen, so that means that the purview over in towards server stairs not occupied, but Mav still gets the kill onto Rizraz. Looking into the site now as Aces through a small kill hole. They're running low on time. Need to converge onto this diffuser as fast as possible. The pre-fire Aces takes down Yuna. It's just Mav left standing. Sticking the defuse and turning the corner now with the pistol out. Each have the pistol out. They have to pull off the defuse. There's no time remaining. Mav gets the knife. It's all over. We're going to OT match point. The kill is pointless. We were going around 15, baby.
Attackers win.
I appreciate the fluid play, but letting Yuna just walk in and standing in tellers while he's doing it right next door, just open up a hole in the wall so you can hear him at that point. That was such a misplay in terms of just a long retake strategy. Once it's starting to tick down like that, you need to start moving closer to site so you can retake that. I mean, yeah, they did lose one of the fights getting towards that, but just the lack of ability to fight that because they were so far away, that was definitely misplays. But we'll see how open area goes for the final defense here of this round. So this is definitely going all the way just on map number 1, so proving it is a good fight between these two in that 50-50. Still holding true here, but someone has to win on this round to break that. Magnet gonna sneak from Maverick to Maverick. Always a good choice. And we go from the Pulse to the Valkyrie to have those extra bits of longer range intel than just the heartbeat sensor.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
See if Fnatic can pull off this attack. They've got a lot of tools here in their belt. And I gotta wonder if they necessarily knew where it was going to be, thinking it was going to be open again, because it was the secondary last time, so there is reason to believe that they would expect open area again.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
It was a decent defense for them. I mean, it worked last time. It probably shouldn't have, but look at those. A lot of double digits. Magnet especially up there at 17. See, just that's the thing about going all the way is all these double digit kills up there. A lot of rounds going down with a lot of killing.
5 seconds to insert.
Surprisingly, a lot of plants as well. Yuna definitely setting the record for plants in this match so far.
Attackers are moving.
I mean, honestly, and the problem is they're uncontested because Fnatic have no idea they're going down.
Yeah, it is just a little bit odd that they're playing with so much intel yet they don't even know right next to them the plant's going down.
They have a Pulse and a Mozzie and a Valkyrie that round, and yeah. they don't know.
Definitely a weakness that could be exploited, and Yuna's trying to, but he's not going to get another chance to this particular map. Maybe next map on Club could be some more sneaky plans from him, but in the meantime, they're going to try and figure out how this is set up here. They need to clear this top floor so they can attack down through the hatches, through the floor. They've got to do some droning first. Again, though, they need to be following up these drones with people. Magnet has been kind of the entry frag on this Maverick, it seems. He's going to have to do that again here, but they're still just droning. A minute in, guys need to start getting into the building here. Virtue needs to start leading the way. Him or Magnet. Virtue at least going to open the door, but guess what he's going to do? Go back on drone.
Slow pace here for Fnatic when they really need to start picking it up. The good news is they've slowly gotten some control of the open area hallway, or the open area hatches hallway just outside of stock, and they can start opening up those. Looks like Magnet was trying to open up some Maverick holes into the elevator first floor hallway as well. That could be dangerous, and it looks like Mav is actually holding a Nitro Cell inside of Archives, looking to throw it up towards the windows as soon as whoever that is on the rappel comes in. Astro identifies that Magnet's in the main lobby, and they'll go back and forth in the engagement, but neither one going to land a shot.
I like how he thinks about going for the rotate out, but there's the castle barricade there. And that's not going to help him. Magnet, though, this is a risky play playing so close to the door, but he didn't take any damage. That's surprising. He is going to open up a little bit of the wall. May or may not be heard. I'm not sure. I think some of the changes to the blowtorch sound went in the last patch.
It did.
If so, then it could be quite a bit louder than it was before, if it was as loud as it was on the test server.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the torch is a lot louder now in live server, but it's not going to matter as Astra's going to win it out with the MP7 regardless. Rizraz, the man pushing in beyond that sound, he will be the first one to fall here. Astra on about 20 HP himself, but Fnatic running low on time and low on map control, really. There's a lot of an extension still from FaZe throughout the entirety of the main floor. You also have Mav down in the basement now, ready to throw some nitro cells up through the basement hatches. This is turning disastrous for Fnatic real quick. I think Elysian Mine returning to the top floor to join the rest of his teammates will be Lusty on the Capitao. These smoke bolts could be massive, though, cause a lot of havoc and disruption of visibility inside the objective. You're going to have to play this from range to try and deny this. Looks like they shoot the thermite charge through the floor to stop the hatch from getting opened up, and Virtue's going to lose his head in engagement as well. 10 seconds left, and it's all going to come down to this last flood. Ion laying in wait, and there goes the diffuser at the base of the main stairs. It's a clean sweep for FaZe. A flawless round in round 15. And look at the hype on the faces of FaZe Clan. They take the first map in the elimination game, and the Aussies now with their backs against the wall.
Well done. Definitely a good play by FaZe. And again, too slow of play by Fnatic. Definitely a weakness for them. No one, again, really wanting to bring out that Jackal to speed things up. But either way, FaZe, their map, Fnatic took them all the way on it, though. That's not good for FaZe.
Not at all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was FaZe's pick. Goes the distance. 8-7 scoreline victorious for FaZe. On the other side of a short break, we'll have Clubhouse for you. Could it be that Fnatic go home 0-2, or we will stretch this to 3 maps? We'll see on the other side. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Raleigh Major here in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we're in an elimination match here for Group D. It's FaZe, it's Fnatic. It's currently FaZe up one map. After an 8-7 victory on Bank that looked in the beginning like it was going to be all Fnatic all day, and yet they fall inches short. So we move our way over to Clubhouse now, a map we've seen a couple times today from a couple different matchups, and interesting to say the least. FaZe was not present on Clubhouse against FaZe last night.
Yeah.
We'll see if maybe they've altered some things. Maybe this is Fnatic's pick for a reason. Maybe they watched the VOD from last night and said, yeah, we could probably exploit a lot of what they're doing.
I gotta imagine that factored in. Even if that wasn't their primary reason, that's gonna be a reason.
Wouldn't be at all shocked.
Yeah, there was definitely things they could identify that worked for FaZe that they could use. I just hope their time management's a little bit better. Especially, for example, because you have a similar situation when you go to attack Church on Clubhouse, where you have to clear the top 2 floors, they're turtled up, you need time to execute, so on and so forth. And so far, their attacks on lockers make me think maybe that's going to be a struggle for them on Clubhouse as well. But we do have FaZe starting first on defense for Clubhouse, because it was, of course, Fnatic's map pick, so FaZe get to choose. They're, of course, going to choose defense on Clubhouse, so...
Most people would assume that bodes well for FaZe. We thought the same thing against FaZe.
Nothing bodes well.
They lost 5 defenses.
Yeah.
So, I'm a little worried for FaZe still, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think this is in the bag by any means, but I mean, that's traditionally a good advantage to have starting on the defense.
Well, like I've said before, like the Latin American teams are used to more aggressive defenses.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, that means they're a bit slow on the ones that aren't aggressive. They're used to taking fights earlier, getting picks earlier, and then when no one's giving them people to kill, I don't know. It's definitely a different environment for them. They don't always play it correctly. In the meantime, though, over on the other stream, we got Cafe going on their second map. Looking pretty good there so far. Good to see that Noarengu was able to have Maryu plate today. So they still have a shot. Soku, as much fun as it was having the coach play, I don't think he is a high-level Rainbow Six player.
No, apparently someone did some investigating. He's level 9.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Not great.
Can't even play ranked.
That's just his Smurf. Come on. He's level 700 on his main.
There you go, exactly. Well, the sad reality with this matchup is that one of these two teams have to go home.
Yeah.
And for massive teams like FaZe and Fnatic, you never want to see them going home, but you never want to see anyone go home. And I think FaZe is the real upset in this group. I think a lot of people, when doing their predictions at home, did not count FaZe into their rotation. I don't think any of the casters that submitted to CGG picked FaZe. I know I did not. I can't remember, other than a very vocal minority, as words are hard, on the subreddit talking about FaZe as real contenders, and yet, hey,
here they are.
Sometimes with unknown teams, we don't know everything, right? Granted, we also do know a lot about Group C, and a lot of us got that wrong with Space Station 2. So, you know what? Maybe we're just all not intelligent.
Maybe. Maybe. Let's see. I'm looking at the predictions to see if anyone, I think Furious G might have, I don't know, who predicted FaZe would make it out. Let's see, what group were they again?
D.
Hap and Furious did. Furious G. So.
Ballsy, but I like it.
It worked. It worked.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Clubhouse. Map number 2 between FaZe and Fnatic.
See if they can pull it off here. This is, again, Fnatic's map pick. So they will be starting on attack. But what will they ban? Can they ban something that will actually stop FaZe from winning a lot of these defensive rounds? We will see the defense ban soon. But starting with attack, Mav to go here. This has been a very popular ban here on Clubhouse. I haven't seen all the Clubhouse matches, but I feel like it's close to 100% ban for this the last 2 days. It's been consistent. Capped out been a pretty high one as well, but not 100%. We saw it in play earlier. What will these defensive bans be? Will we see some kooky ones or just the usual? Starting with the usual.
Nothing too out of sorts just yet. And I mean, the Mav ban makes a lot of sense. It makes opening up server wall pretty easy. You don't have to bring a thermite. The M4 probably more preferable than the 5.56.
So. Well, nothing crazy.
Nope. We lose an Echo, so we're going to have some more Maestro play.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I wanted something big, some kind of big brain play. Like we're gonna ban this defender, and FaZe is gonna be hosed. We're gonna have this great attack, but nope. They're just gonna play their attacks as they are, and of course start Church.
Well, we've seen a Mozzie ban already. We've seen. I don't think we personally have seen a Valkyrie ban, but I think there has been a couple.
I think there might have been one on us.
On us?
On Secret versus G2 Coastline. There was.
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
It's a good thing I was written down. Also,
That was this morning.
FaZe versus Fours. We had one on Consulate.
Oh, okay. I'm just not intelligent then.
And also Coastline Giants
my
versus SSG.
God, okay.
You want me to keep going?
I mean, just make me look like more of a...
How about Coastline or Rogue versus Secret?
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
So let's see. I can keep going if you want, but I think there's been more than one. That's a good thing that I wouldn't have remembered them off the top of my head. I'll be honest. That's why I try not to say stuff like that because I know I'll probably be wrong. Well, there is that.
Oh,
okay.
Hey, by the way, Flynn,
Hey.
you're fired. All right, moving
Flynn,
on.
Write stuff down. Here's a pen, bud.
I write limited things down.
Yeah.
I don't write things down.
I don't trust my memory. That's the only reason I write it down.
I trust my memory too much, and then I say dumb crap like that.
Yeah. And then you forget that you said it.
And then I do forget that I said, I'm going to go to bed tonight and not even remember that I said it. There's going to be a clip tomorrow. There's going to be a Reddit thread. It's going to be great.
Attackers
I hope
must
so.
locate and
I hope so.
defuse the bomb.
That'd be fun. I'll upvote it.
Somebody
Mav.
somebody already made a Reddit post about, apparently, you know the Mav pistol clutch?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it picked up on the other stream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
It was pretty good.
Yeah, we are pretty close to the other one, practically sitting in their lap right now.
Yeah, we're much closer to our English stream counterparts than we were at SI.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we've been getting much louder than we were at SI. I think we're
No.
just closer in proximity.
A lot of peeks coming out. You had Mav peeking out pool window earlier. Cameraman Pixel peeking the doorway here. Fortunately, just catching a drone. He's going to be spotted for sure. And Virtue looking for him, but I don't think he's going to re-peek that, but you never know. Cameraman could go for it. Virtue is aiming way too high, though, for that, as he is crouched. And that's if he goes for crouch peek, but looks like Lusty going to go, you know what? Fine, you drone it. I'm going to get my job done here. I got things to do. Rizraz also coming in for it here. Looking to push, but nope. Too little, too late. He's already gone, but now they have at least control of the top of those blue stairs. You do need to maintain control of that because you don't want people just sneaking up on you from behind. So he's going to hold that for now. They don't have a cap tower as it's banned to be able to hit the firebolt behind the generator, but they do have the ability to hit some stuns over there. Looked like they were going for pre-fire on anyone on Moto doorway as they were running away. They're not going to be able to trick that if that's what their Uno was going to go for. A lot of holes getting open on the floor as well from Virtue, trying to find some angles, but he's busy just making sure no one's going to be trying to look up those hatches as well. So a lot of vertical pressure, but no one getting into any real firefights yet.
No, they spook cameraman out of blue stairs, so he'll retreat back to safety, and there's no real problem with that right now,
Attackers
as
have
he's
located a bomb.
off in La La Land having a grand old time in the site. And Fnatic running low on time, just trying to find a foot or two here will be Virtue. Again, this angle, old hat, but seems to have made a resurgence. Finally, cameraman will fall. A trade now from the Nitro cell from Uno onto Lusty at the base of main stairs, so that gets launched over the top of the church wall. I'm impressed that he actually hit that without having his C4 electrified and zapped away.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is quite difficult to deal with, but the EMP will come out from Magnet, watching for an impact trick, a Nitro, a second one now being launched over. Just short, but the impact trick still worked. So the thermite charge will not detonate onto the church wall. We stand at a 4v4. That was completely wrong with Mass Nitro. Anyway, Astro covering the blue door now as a push coming in from Rizraz. Shred right through him, not losing too much HP in that engagement either. Everyone looking to push in through the main stairs and church door now. There's 15 seconds. They're going to try to push the main hallway. Yuna, though, gets slapped off his angle. Now Astro's barreling in towards the church door, all lining up now as they try to push in for a plant. The diffuser is lost in the main hallway. Fnatic recovering now as they try to push through, but Ion will shred through Magnet. Now, the last man standing is Virtue in the middle of Arsenal, but not a lot going there on the attacking round there for Fnatic, and it seems like the defensive woes from yesterday for FaZe might have been shaken.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a lot of great timing, though, from Fnatic. They were pushing different sides at different times, and that just really didn't work out because everyone from FaZe was able to kind of work their angles for the most part. Yeah, not all of them worked, but they were able to defend multiple angles at once because they didn't lose too many people early on, and the push from Fnatic just trying to come in, too many different places, uncoordinated. They didn't have a lot of utility working out for them as well. Trouble with the impact tricking on the wall. Obviously, if that C4 had gone over, that might have made things even worse for them, but just a lot of chaos that round not working out. It just did not seem like a very well-coordinated attack, and I mean, it wasn't a super coordinated defense either from FaZe, but they were in more advantageous positions and better timing against the members of Fnatic. You saw, for example, Rizraz trying to go into blue, just easily countered because they weren't distracting all of the members of FaZe, and just the timing wasn't there. But, you know, nonetheless, that forces them to switch sites now, so they will go up to Cash, and we'll see how well they defend this against Fnatic's tech.
If you're a Fnatic fan out there, don't think too hard. I mean, it is the defensive side, and like I said, heading in, FaZe has had their troubles on defense, especially against fours yesterday on Clubhouse, but also inside of Pro League as well. They've had moments where maybe they've drawn, I believe they drew ints, like he said, on Clubhouse in Pro League in Season 10 so far. So they've had their moments where maybe they've fallen a little short against competition that they were expected to beat, but hey, this might be the turning point that FaZe needs to really wake up. The good news is they don't start at an early deficit.
Yeah.
They did that all 3 maps against fours and the first map tonight on Bank against Fnatic. It's been a bad run for starting on time for FaZe, and this is a much better start for them.
This is a much better map for it as well. This is
Yeah.
a very defensive-sided map at the moment. It's as of yesterday, though, somehow it was 50-50.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that probably has something to do with fours winning 5 attacks.
Yeah, probably.
And then Empire also playing it.
That did. The Russians really the stats.
Yeah. Everyone else in the world hasn't figured out how to attack on Clubhouse, but Empire and Four sure have.
Oh, the bandit trick actually working, just maybe a little bit mistimed there from Rizraz. I'm worried about a run out though, as that door, as you can see the debris from it is open. Ace is watching it now, expecting it. They're thinking about some runouts here, but this is just not super well coordinated or working at the moment. Looks like they're going to go maybe take a little bit different tack on this, potentially, but in the meantime, Ace is in a holding pattern. This is burning up a lot of time, so they've got to figure out what they want to do here. Too many people staring at one spot. At least they adjusted angles for it, but that burned up maybe another good 20 seconds adjusting for that. Virtue, though, landing his grenade on the bandit. That's certainly going to help things out here. They might finally get the wall open, and there we go.
Still have Yuna covering in Rafters, so you don't have complete garage control just yet. That's your next target to assimilate there for Fnatic. Although they're all rotating over for construction push now that they have the server wall open. Completely abandon the wall and garage push. We've seen this a couple times, specifically I believe from Rogue earlier on.
It's not a bad thing to push from that side when you have the server wall open, because you just wait to push on the server wall till they're fully distracted with the construction side. It's time management that worries me on this here. It's taken him a while. That wooden barricade almost giving Cameraman a nice free kill. He gets pushed from the other side though, and Lusty takes him down. Good coordination. That's much better coordination there. And now a man advantage thanks to the early grenade from Virtue as well. 5v3. 45 seconds left, though. They need to start making some plays, using some utility to get in here. And Yuna going to get droned out at least, so they know what they need to do to control him, but they're probably not going to deal with him until the end of the round. They still have walls to open here. Yuna boosts himself up, expecting a push after that drone that doesn't come.
Well, the Excaliburs will now detonate onto the construction walls. They all try to flood into Cash. Multiple members still lining up, and you do have pressure still. Not sure who that is on the Republic. I believe it's Aces. It is Aces doing battle now with Yuna. He's going to overheal himself once again. The plant going down from Magnet. Oh, but this Nitro Cell, he's going to... No, he's waiting too long. Finally, we'll pull the trigger on it, and just in the nick of time. 5 seconds left. Now looking up to the same kill hole. Oh, it's all FaZe all day. They can't get the diffuser back, and it's a 2-0 lead quickly for the Latin Americans.
And you questioned the timing of that C4, but that was actually well played because it burned off even more time. Which
it was close.
That's what they won on there. That was a quote-unquote retake strategy from below. It definitely helped that they went to plant again, just in view of him. Unfortunately, just not the right choices in terms of plant spots. But they were a little bit desperate, and that's 2 in a row now for FaZe. Can they succeed on Jim? We will see.
I respect the weight on the nitro, but boy, did they cut that close.
Yeah, that was dangerous.
That was half a second left on the timer.
Absolutely, and it does take a second. When you throw the C4, there's a slight delay before you could pick out your phone and call
Attackers
it.
need to locate and defuse bombs.
It's tricky, but it worked out in the end, so kudos. Jim's going to be a little bit of a different defense, though. Hopefully Fnatic don't spend too much time rotating this time, because time is what cost them last round, although losing 2 people on it certainly didn't help. But that second desperate play to stick the diffuser down was because of time, and so ultimately the clock is what they lost to last round.
Well, I must say, I'm much more impressed with FaZe so far.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they got pretty warmed up on Bank. I mean, they barely won it, but now they're coming on strong on this map. But as you pointed out, defense starting, so...
This could be a turnaround for Fnatic, and now they have to defend Gym Bedroom. And this has been a weird sight. Honestly, both CC and Gym have been a weird sight. It seems like they've inversed, at least from the game that we watched earlier on between Dark Zero and Fours.
Yeah, it's been a little weird. I mean, obviously this is going more defensive side because neither of the Russian teams are playing.
There you go. Take your opportunities where you can, I guess. But we see a victorious defense on CCTV and Cash. Again, narrowly. Yeah. But they do come away with it. Well-timed C4. Maybe. Yeah, a little close for my liking, but I'm just a naturally timid person when it comes to that kind of thing. I'd rather take the sure kill and play it from there, but I'm not in Pro League. I'm not playing in the Major, obviously.
You tried, though.
I did try, and I did fail miserably.
That's okay, you know. If you hadn't tried and failed, then we wouldn't have anything to laugh at. So
Exactly. I'm just providing free content for all the captors.
There you go.
Frag Grenade goes soaring over the top, and it won't connect onto Yuna. But this wall gets opened up. He's got a lot of HP, but Yuna on the turn. Oh, what a beautiful shot onto Virtue, looking for more now, but Aces will shut him down in his tracks. He tries to reach out. It's a good play there to take down Virtue. There goes the soft destruction from Virtue on the Buck. Now everyone from FaZe is trying to turn this into a bottleneck inside of construction, making sure that no one else from Fnatic can maneuver their way over.
That was a little bit sloppy, not droning Yuna out before opening that up, because you were getting ready to push in there. You have to know what's on the other side of that wall, but Yuna actually played into that perfectly. And yeah, it would have been nice if he could have got 2 if there was someone else standing there where he was expecting them to, but either way, it was nice. Like this little drone parkour there from Rizraz, just trying to set up a nice position where they're unlikely to spot it to get some intel on how the garage is being played. But the garage is not the most important part of this anyways. It's just kind of a flank watch drone as they try and pressure now towards logistics and the bedroom. Ion trying to stop the drones here, but there is 2 playing logistics. Cameraman hoping Ion's actually a bit more of a distraction. And they're going to go push for him, and it is a perfect distraction. Thanks for baiting your teammate. It works, but he gets traded and then traded back. That is going to put the huge advantage here on FaZe, and an even further advantage now. Magnet left to try and clutch against 3. Ion at half health, but he's got smokes left, I imagine.
Continuation of the destruction there from Astro. So it's Magnet now in a 1v3 alone. No diffuser control as there's 2 members from FaZe guarding it. Right past the open wall as Maggie turns the corner, does a lot of damage to Astro, but trying to whip up with the pistol on the prone. The Nitro Cell comes out. That gets shot out of midair, but the vaulting outside from both of them. Mav will shut down Magnet, and Dizzle looks on at a questioning Magnet, saying what is going wrong here, and Fnatic right now floundering down 0-3, already down a map. It looked like it was going to be Fnatic wiping FaZe straight out of Raleigh, but instead, it's FaZe on the return, and they're coming back with a vengeance here on map 2.
I'll tell you what's going wrong. They're not droning ahead. So they're doing the exact opposite of before, where they were droning and then not moving. Now they're moving and not droning. So they're walking into ambushes. They walked into the ambush by Yuna. They walked into the ambush by Cameraman. They're not checking, certainly not checking their corners before they're entering rooms. And it's costing them lives ultimately. And then they're getting in disadvantageous firefights afterwards, because they don't have enough intel. I don't know if it's drone economy and they're just short on drones at that point, or they're just worried about time management, but it's like, you just drone ahead of a person. That's 1 drone. If that drone gets shot, go around and shoot the person who shot it, if there's someone there to do that. But either way, see if they can adjust, but they've already lost 3 rounds. It's not a good start for Fnatic on their map pick.
It's true. It looked like it was FaZe going to lose their map pick. They pulled it out 8-7 after almost 3 flawless rounds from Fnatic to begin it. Now we're moving to Clubhouse, and that's... they haven't been flawless, don't get me wrong, but all that matters is the scoreboard at the end of the day. It doesn't have to be pretty. just has to get the job done.
Absolutely.
FaZe are doing right now. They are getting the job done entirely. They win their tertiary site, they get to go back to the primary, which is basement. Look at that scoreboard. It's pretty even kills. Like I said, they haven't been pretty rounds.
Yeah.
They've been victorious rounds, and that's all that matters. That's all FaZe care about right now. They aren't looking for flashy plays. They're looking to win and stay alive. You lose this best of 3, it's all over. You sit in the stands for the rest of the major. And after FaZe got knocked out in groups at SI, I'm sure they do not want to return to that feeling of sitting on the bench and saying, what could we have done differently? Especially when Fnatic were in their group at SI.
Yeah, they definitely want to be on that stage. That's where I'm sure they feel they belong. Fnatic, though, having trouble ever really making it to that stage with one exception, so it's definitely something they're also hungry for. But so far, not hungry enough to be able to play this correctly on these attacks, and maybe they should have paid closer attention to how the Russians are doing it.
Speaking of the Russians, whoever does come away victorious in this best of 3 will still have a date and possibly a rematch in the case of FaZe with with Dark Zero. 4's already qualified, so it would be Fnatic having a rematch or FaZe with a brand new game against Dark Zero. To make it to the quarterfinals tomorrow, for FaZe right now, it's just 4 more rounds. That's all you need, and it's all over. And I mean, you're still in the defense. You're rocking and rolling right now. There's not a lot of pressure on them. This feels like a very relaxed and in-the-zone FaZe.
Yeah, they definitely are taking advantage of Fnatic's mistakes and oversights. Interesting how often they're boarding up doors just to give themselves a little bit of advantage, and also really just slowing down Fnatic. And again, that's exploiting some of their time management weaknesses and just their mismanagement of droning with attackers and not having strong entry players a lot of the time. At least Virtue's grenades have been landing some of the time. That's been helping a little bit.
A bomb has been located.
They're droning a bit now. In Church, at least they got some good intel. Ace is catching that, but again, no one to act on it. It's not going to help you out. You just lose that drone now. And yes, you know there's people in Church, but I think you kind of knew that going into this.
Cameraman waiting for a drop in oil pit, but none's coming right now from Fnatic. They're still going to try and push him out of blue, but it'll be coming from the stairs as everyone from FaZe sitting pat, not overextending to any unnecessary portion. As I say, that unit goes for a bit of a wide peek there towards main stairs, but Nitrocell in hand here for Mavs. He wants to send that over the top of the wall. Waiting for someone for Fnatic to push, but I mean, this is so incredibly slow right now from Fnatic. The frag grenade comes out, but hitting the Lesion Mine will be Virtue as he tries to push his way into blue. There's a pinch coming from both Astro and Cameraman. Nitrocell comes soaring over, and that's going to collect the life of Lusty. The bottom of the wall will detonate, but pushing down the hallway. Another one for Yuna. There goes Aces. Diffuser lost, and there's only 15 seconds remaining. This is looking like the downfall of the Aussies. Cameraman doing battle inside of Oil Pit with 1. Rizraz will win that out, but now that's Virtue gone. Rizraz with a second one as he starts bursting his way through. Magnet with the diffuser loses it again as Yuno shoots him square in the back. Rizraz with 3 on the round, but it's still not enough. Fnatic, all their dead bodies lie on the floor outside of Church. That's where their hopes remain right now. It's a 4-0 lead for FaZe.
I'm gonna wonder if Fnatic got a little exhausted by that 15-round map, the first one, and then losing it. They really pushed back hard to try and take it too. This is definitely going pretty poorly again on time management, but also on gunfights. They're just, it's the same story. The drones, the way they're playing their time, the way they're following up the information that they get. They're not bringing any roam tracking operators or anyone that could give them additional intel or even just slow down the pushes. Heck, throw a line in at this point. Just something to do to stop FaZe from being able to run the map they want to. They're not really bringing anything. They're bringing utility operators for opening things. They're bringing 5 can openers in a gun. It's not really helping too much right now. They need something that really locks FaZe down to angles they can work. They need drones they can use. They need to play a lot better with information. FaZe aren't even playing super information ops. They're playing, oh, here's a Valkyrie or whatever. They're just playing off instincts, good information that they managed to gather, teamwork, coordination, pinches, angles, things that Fnatic are really struggling with. I mean, at least Fnatic could be trading a little bit better, a little bit more early on. It's not happening. So Fnatic at a huge disadvantage, and they do tend to get a bit tilted sometimes. I hope their mental management is a little bit better because this is a tough spot to be in on your map. Down 4 rounds already. Already almost a second rotation going through here fully of the bomb sites. You got to feel like you should have at least won on Jim. Nope. Meantime, Yuna just checking all the cams, trying to get some idea where it's going to come from. But no one in Fnatic really anywhere yet.
Well, speaking of droning, I mean, Mav has escaped all drones, it seems, inside his strip. Looks like there might have been one heading over down to the ground outside of the bottom of Jacuzzi wall. Cameraman's also over by the top of the main stairs. So they're spread out quite well. Lusty's going to drone him out, and Virtue on the Jacuzzi balcony, but he's not pushing on that intel. He's still droning himself.
Yeah, what good is it? What good did that drone do? Yep, there's someone upstairs, guys. Okay, now what?
He's going to blow open the Jacuzzi wall. Cameraman had the opportunity to fall back, but he's going to stand and fight. And I mean, with the kind of moxie that FaZe have been playing with lately, why wouldn't you try and stand and fight on this? Virtue's still droning for himself, and he allows Cameraman to escape. Magnet, though, will take a Claymore kill. Take what you can get at this point. Mav's going to run straight into it, and that was the man inside a strip. So you lose the Valkyrie, but you allow Cameraman to escape back downstairs, and
lost 2 drones in the process as well.
And there's another one pushing through, trying to reassess the location of Cameraman, but I imagine he's all the way in the basement by now, going for a full rotation over towards the garage. And Virtue's going to help facilitate the push over from Master across into Construction. That's exactly what Riz, Raz, Lusty, and Virtue are all occupied doing right now. Magnet joining. His Aces is the one man holding the wall. That was right. Cameraman went down to the basement. Frag grenade going to come over the wall here as the X-Kairos get tricked.
Well, at least they downed Ion, but will they be able to finish up? Because they have a dock. They need to do something about this kill. And nope. Guess who's back? Back again.
Ion's back. Tell a friend.
All right, email him. Well, he definitely is going to continue to be a pain. So far, the only kill they've gotten this round was from a Claymore. That is not good. 40 seconds left as well. Time management, again, a problem for them here, especially if they can't finish their kills. A lot of drones coming upstairs again, and I'm guessing no one behind them.
No question here. Ooh, nice shot there from Aces on the rappel outside. So they get another pick. They have the 2-man advantage, but they're low on time once again. Familiar story here for Fnatic as they try to assess what the best possible push would be. A Nitro cell goes soaring, but it will not connect. Still decimating from outside, and it's a clean sweep for Fnatic. Everyone from FaZe go peeking, they go fishing, and they come up well empty. Flawless round for Fnatic there to get themselves on the board. Might be too little too late, but at least they have some semblance of momentum now.
FaZe, unfortunately, threw that round for themselves. There was no reason to peek that much, to expose yourself that much, that they win from outside. You had time. They were dwindling down to 30 seconds or less right then. You just needed to stay out of gun range. The fact that they won from mostly outside the building, I mean, great on Fnatic. Kudos to you guys. That was a good series of plays, especially on the rappel, but you shouldn't have been able to win that way. That was definitely not great for FaZe. But nonetheless, it's only 1 win on attack. They could potentially score a second one here onto Jim. They could play cash again. They don't have to switch, but they definitely will. See how that works out for them here. Still, though, regardless, even if they go into a 4-2 situation, that's still not bad for them. That still is advantage on their defensive rounds. They just got to be able to attack successfully after that. Otherwise, we end up on that 3, which will be Consulate. See how things go from here. They are setting up this bedroom defense with a lot of reinforcements in cache to try and slow things down there. I imagine they will play in the cache area again, but this is where a lot of droning was very poor coming out from Fnatic. This was probably their worst drone round. So hopefully they learn from that mistake. They do a bit better job getting some intel before they push in. I like that camera up on the light because it's so bright from the light you're unlikely to see the camera. Little things like that that you learn over time to be able to hide your cameras a little bit better. I mean, technically it's in plain view, but because of the backlighting on it, a little harder to see. A little caution there for Magnet. He was afraid of a spawn peek. And good to see that caution because you never know when a team like FaZe Clan might just go for those.
Absolutely. Pivot to a gym bedroom defense on this one, and I don't know. I feel like the stall factor last time around from FaZe was pretty good. The first opening pick that Fnatic got was a Claymore, so if Mav doesn't walk into that again, I mean, you're in a good spot. They couldn't lock down cameraman on the far side. I feel like running back CC wouldn't have been the end of the world, but
yeah.
They were also previously successful in Gym Bedroom pretty cleanly before as well.
True, they were successful in everything before, so you never know if they can repeat that, but I can imagine Fnatic should be a little more efficient this time, but again, it was the drone play that caught. Oh, the amount of times we've seen C4 get caught. It's unfortunate, that little piece of debris there. That is a C4 gone early. That is definitely going to help here. That would have been a pretty good C4 too. Most likely would have caught one of the players of Fnatic, but since it did not, now it's going to force Yuna back here. They're pushing pretty heavy from construction side, or the cash wall there. Yuna is going to go down. So, no worries about droning him, as well as cameraman to follow that up. Much, much better round here from Fnatic. They are getting a lot of early control. Now they just need to pace the rest of their time correctly. They need to make sure that they're continually gaining ground or winning fights, that they're not stalling out trying to think about things. If they need to rotate, they need the team to rotate while they're pushing, but you need to drone logistics properly. You can't let Ion get a freebie here. He won't even necessarily see drones inside construction at first because the hole is more towards head height, but he will definitely see you if you come near that door frame.
Like Magnet taking the initiative there. He vaults all the way into Jim and takes care of an unprotected cameraman. So and then he vaults right on back out. He's not trying to push on that. He gets his kill and lets the team play with that momentum. So they have the 2-man advantage once again. Time getting kind of low, but they do drone out Ion inside of logistics, like you said. They definitely need to assess the situation with that over there. Not allow a freebie, as you said. Now that's Lusty up top. Ace is taking a little bit of damage on the balcony, waiting to push. Mavgog's one, the second one now for Astro, and we level in man count. Oh, this is a beautiful comeback here for FaZe on the round. Still smoking out now. He'll smoke up the hatch to push Lusty off of the logic hatch. This is beautiful work here for FaZe to continue to stall, and Fnatic pushing one by one into their immediate demise. Shots ring out, but they cannot claim the life of Astro. In behind the Master now swinging in towards logistics. Rizraz cuts him down though. Down to Ion and Mav to hold this one out for FaZe for a 5-1 advantage. The Nitro Cell, it downs Lusty inside of logistics. Ace is carrying the diffuser, is alone outside on the balcony. Reminiscent of what we saw last game. Now prone inside the clock, the shotgun again. It's just Ace is alone now inside of Master. Down to the 1v1, and because Rizraz is the Zofia, he's gonna withstand and pick himself back up. Gets the kill into Ion, but Mav will close it out. FaZe take the 5-1 lead. Latin America 2 rounds away from keeping their hopes alive.
That was a good initial attack by Fnatic, but again, once they started to get into position, just the defenders pretty much holding their positions were able to fight back completely. They didn't have a good attack strategy after that. They didn't have a good follow-up. They had utility, they had manpower, but you saw them rotating, trying to find angles, things like that. They just needed to drone and push, just coordinate with each other or set up for trades. With the man advantage like that, if you just trade, you win. You don't need to plant. But they weren't doing that. They were trying to get in those individual 1v1s you were mentioning, and that did not work out in their favor. They had a few trades occasionally that worked out, and the withstand was definitely a nice play, but unfortunately at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. Just the time left meant they had to push desperately right into the last player. Predictable at that, but see Fnatic definitely wondering what's going so wrong here. They have a chance now. They're on defense. They could bring it back. They're going to start on Cash rather than Church. So, all right. If that's what you think will work, go for it. I think Church is better, personally, but
at this point, I mean, you got to pull out all the stops here if you're Fnatic. You are 2 rounds away from being sent to the bleachers going 0-2 out of groups. After making it to the quarterfinals of the 6th Invitational, after making it to Milan, I mean, this is a big game right here for Fnatic. This is a big test for them. I mean, this was the roster, and there were a lot of high hopes for Fnatic, as well as FaZe, don't get me wrong. But, man, Fnatic seemingly falling apart a little bit here.
Problem is Dizzle's not playing.
What a Valcam. Is that on the handlebar of that motorcycle? Yeah, it is.
Wow, that's
oh,
tricky.
Is it the handlebar?
Look like it.
That thing, I don't know. We'll find it eventually, because someone will get on it.
Right. Well, interesting one nonetheless.
If it works, it works.
Yep. Magnet could be going for a roam. He does tend to play a lot of roam, so wouldn't be surprising to see him trying to play a little bit aggressive, but it is dangerous to do so without enough intel, and he does have the cameras to support him, so that's good. Also could have some... Oh, they found it.
That is tough. That is such a nice Valcam. I wonder if they've seen that before in a VOD?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not like they had an IQ to spot it.
No, that's got to be previous intel. Maybe the drone saw it get thrown out? There was a drone down on the ground outside a pool table window, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, cameraman going for the wall. The stun canisters come in, but that's going to be an easy bandit trick. Easiest bandit trick of Lusty's entire career right there. Going to be bouncing back and forth, and yeah, the stuns don't detonate and pull him out of the animation. You take those. Lusty's still continuing to bandit trick here, and honestly, this is looking pretty bad here for FaZe. We didn't get to see a whole lot of their attacking on Clubhouse against fours, but it wasn't a whole lot better than their defense.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get to see a whole lot because of how many offenses fours were able to win. They're definitely trying to take a lot of this control from the other side now, taking control of logistics, the connector, bedroom. I mean, they've got a good start to it here, but not opening up the cache wall. If they can't do that, that will definitely hurt. There's a bit here. They have the Thatcher and the Thermite in the bottom where they're enough to be able to do it. They are going for a bit of a fight here at the moment. And see how the drone is ahead of Astro? Yeah, maybe show that to Fnatic, see how that works.
Oh no, looks like Astro's reading this one, but the shots come up, and Astro's much worse for wear after that engagement. Magnet gets traded out, or not even traded out, just decimated inside a stage by Mav. He's gonna go for the full rotation into the basement. So a huge early pick here for FaZe, trying to put this on match point and series point and send Fnatic to the bleachers early.
Well, still, that wasn't a terrible play by Magnet in the sense that he did get Astro pretty low. Should be able to be finished off potentially. Bandit trick attempt coming out here. Will it be in time? Yep, it will be with the X-Kairos. No, you're not going to trick those. Yep. Are you? Oh, wow, it was enough time.
Yep.
Well played by Lusty. That is a lot of utility lost. Now they just need to finish off Astro, and then they'll be in a really good position because not only they have traded, they will also have a huge time advantage. 20 seconds left, looking similar to what we saw from Fnatic. Bodies are going to start flying through windows. Gas is going to kill Astro. Here's where it gets to the wire, and Lusty following it up. Rizraz with the shotgun. A nice double kill from him. Rizraz with the finish. Potentially, cameraman goes down to Lusty. No, the Yuna could not bring it back. There was no way he was going to clutch that out anyways. But fantastic play by Fnatic, especially Lusty doing his job excellently.
Fnatic again on the stalling. Time control an issue for both of these teams, as we noted on Bank. And as we're seeing here on Clubhouse. It's only one round, though. FaZe will have a lot of opportunities to throw by the wayside.
Hey, at least they're all defensive opportunities right now.
Well, the good news is that to win it in regulation, Fnatic would have to win all 6 defensive rounds to get a 7-5.
True.
So no matter what, as long as FaZe gets one round here, we're going overtime, at the very least.
It's very true. Math don't lie.
Numbers hit maths.
Rizraz is going to sneak onto that Maestro for Church here. Just trying to tease that he's going to be roam. I like that idea, though, because that makes them have to drone a little bit harder. And what have they been bad at? Droning. So that will certainly help. Just one of those little 6-pick things that's like, might as well make them really suspicious of a roam, potentially in blue or even upstairs. Make them drone a little harder. Heck, throw in a Vigil who's playing near sight. Just so when they drone upstairs, they see the indicator and think, oh no, is there a Vigil up here? We gotta extra spend time looking for him. And it's like, oh, he was just downstairs the whole time. Little things like that, just to slow down, take advantage of them. So Fnatic at least trying to play the right game there. They do also have the ability to catch some of those drones. Magnet on that Mozzie. And time management wasn't good for FaZe either last round, so I don't know. Maybe they'll be able to win it their own game. Rizraz trying to get this camera set up. We still got a deployable shield set up as well as one more Evil Eye. It's going to have to speed things up a little bit as it's already started the action phase, so a little slow on getting things going, but unlikely to be pushed. However, FaZe, what is going on in here? It looks like a rush. Yuna already slaying Lusty, pushing towards hallway. Quick rush here. Yuna has to take a lot of damage, but no. Ion pushes in from blue, takes down one, traded by Aces. Cameraman trades him as well. It's a 1-for-1 Mav. Takes down Magnet. It's all on Virtue, who at least picks up Ion.
Plant going down from Yuna now inside of Arsenal. A 3v1 for FaZe now. In the post plant, 45 on the timer for Virtue to get all 3 and stick the diffuser disable. So this tiny little peek hole in towards the kitchen hatch underneath it, and Arsenal, the flashbangs come soaring out. They're going to continue to stall time. That's all FaZe wants to do right now. They have crossfires abound. Prone underneath the table, in behind the bar in Church. Virtue unaware of this, he'll push clean past in behind the blue box. A little over 50 HP, sees the peeking head, and Yuna puts him in a grave. FaZe Clan, one more. You see him say it, one more. FaZe Clan inches away from pushing themselves to a date with Dark Zero and extending their life here in Raleigh.
Well, they had all the advantages. It's a risky play going for a rush, but when you have enough point advantage and you really don't think they know you're going to do it, that was the play. That was a risky one. They luckily won enough gunfights, partially by catching by surprise. I was talking about how long Rizraz was taking to set up. Oh, it's the action phase, no big deal. Well, that's a big deal when they start pushing in on you and you're still putting down shields and evil eyes. That's the way to do it. Good catch on that late setup. They're going to try Church one more time, which could be the very last chance they get to play Church for the entire rest of this event.
We talked about these rushes against fours last night and how they were just crumbling.
Yeah.
On Villa especially, those rush strats from FaZe completely nixed. And it seems like Force is always ready for that kind of aggression to be brought against them, the same kind that they bring against their opponents.
Yep.
Fnatic was not awake there at the beginning of the round, because you don't expect that, right? That's the first time we've seen anything like that from FaZe.
You don't see many Church rushes, period. I mean, it's just not a common thing, so I can understand that. But part of the reason it worked, too, was the coordination rushing blue at the same time. Like, they didn't just push from one side. They pushed from multiple sides. That made it work, for sure.
Yeah, FaZe tried that last night on Villa as well on an Aviator Games rush. They tried to have the pinch at the same time. Or no, it was a kitchen dining push.
Yeah.
They tried to go for the pinch rush, and it kind of got decimated. So, good to see that finally these rush strats are working for FaZe, and they're picking their moments. You know, they're picking a perfect opportunity to strike with those. They tried like 2 or 3 in a row against fours last night, and they got read like an open book.
Yeah.
Now, they haven't done it through mental math, 22 rounds. Or in the 22nd round of this matchup, they finally brought one out.
Well, I doubt they'll do it again. They certainly don't need to. They have 4 rounds to win one. And I think, based off the way FaZe has been playing so far, it's likely. Unfortunate for Fnatic. They will, of course, try and play pretty turtle here. Really, Fnatic cannot take any heavy risks. And FaZe can take advantage of that. The fact that Fnatic have to play cautious means that FaZe can start to slowly corral them and be unlikely to be peaked by members of Fnatic. Yuna already in the bathroom too, waiting. Appreciate their fast map control here, trying to give themselves that extra bit of time while the drones go around, so they're actually in the map to be able to do something with that information. See Astro in as well, opening up some of the floor. This is efficiency. This is more what I wanted to see come out from Fnatic. Opening up a lot of the floor. Hopefully it doesn't backfire too much on them. They still need to keep the hatch open as well. So that's going to scare Lusty off a little bit, who takes a little bit of damage in the process. Astro just being very fast and efficient and using his breach charges, taking utility out. Yuna getting hatches. This is textbook right here, and quick textbook.
Parker can be boisterous at times.
Boisterous.
To say
a great word.
Drones ready.
Activating drone.
So anyway, we're looking to wrap things up ourselves here. I think that was everything ending over there.
It looks like it's very close. It's potentially 1 round away from it. It's much closer than this is at the moment, potentially, although they could end at the same time.
Yeah, you never know. Well, he's in control here in the driver's seat, and yeah, that game is...
They beat us.
That map is over. No spoilers.
All right.
So, drones coming out to spot Virtue inside of blue. Much slower take here from FaZe, but at least they'll get the wall off, I think. Oh my, and Astro is going to demolish Virtue as he tries to peek. Another one trying to peek down the hallway. Aces takes a lot of damage, but they can't get the church wall open in the process. That was their last isothermic charge that gets impacted away. Now trying to push in through the motor door inside of Church. FaZe looking to wrap this one up, and they're all going to burrow their way into Moto and push their way on through. A frag grenade gets caught out by the ADS here. Mav going to take out a second one. Not sure if there's a second charge on there, but Yuna bursting into Church. He gets one, another one for Ion. Rizraz on a trade with 2, though. Leveling everyone with that Alda. The skeleton key in hand. Last man standing is Rizraz. It's all over. Fnatic to the benches and FaZe to a date with Dark Zero.
Unfortunate for Fnatic, who worked very hard to get here, but you know what? FaZe also worked hard, and they're the ones who are going to be moving forward. No guarantee that they're going to be in the finals or anything of that nature, but they are certainly not getting sent home today. And that's all that matters to a team like this.
Well, that's going to do it for day 2 At least here, actually on both streams, because
Yeah.
both games are done.
Fantastic. Surprisingly short day in comparison to yesterday, for sure.